2022. If you wish to speak today, can you please stand and raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to speak the truth at today's hearing? Yes. Thank you. Please silence all electronic devices.
Good morning. Our first case is on page 34. It's an administrative hearing for an appeal. On page 34, Inspector Wanda Aquavella, case number SE21090321, case address 5181 Northeast 19th Avenue, owners Donna and J. Clark.
Page 34.
Morning.
Okay.
Didn't think I was first, but here I am.
The inspector goes first.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Wanda Aquavella for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case and address is read. I cited the property on 9/17, returned on 9/20. The trash was still out there. Sent my driver. He picked it up on 9/21.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Donna Jean Clark.
Okay. Ms. Clark, what do you want to tell me about this incident?
Well, first, I've lived in this house for almost 50 years, 48 to be exact, and I don't think I've ever been cited. And people, I know this isn't a defense as a teacher, but people put stuff out all the time. And I had someone do the trash, trim my house and, the trees and stuff. And knowing that a week away was going to be trash pickup. So he put everything on my grass. It wasn't on the sidewalk, wasn't on the street, it was on my property. And then I happened to be out of town, and when I came back, I saw this blue notice on my wall. It wasn't signed, there wasn't a phone number where I could call and talk about it. Your signature wasn't on there, so I had no idea whether this was legit or not. And I don't know, somebody must have complained because usually there's nobody around to check this out. So upon receiving the notice on the outside, we didn't take it seriously because of what I just stated. The trimmings were only out there for about a week, and the day that they picked it up was the day before the trash pickup. So that was kind of interesting.
When you were out of town and came home, was your trash still out there?
It had just been put out there
Okay, so why didn't you just pick it up?
because it was a huge amount, and I am 78 years old, and that's why I hired somebody to do it. And my husband is 85, and he's battling cancer, so we are unable to do it ourselves.
Okay.
And I didn't think it was a problem. We've never had a problem like this before. We've done this, we've had trash out there, we've had furniture out there because people come by and pick it up that want to keep it.
Yeah, unfortunately, once this city spends the city money to come pick it up, it's then incumbent upon.
But I had no way of telling them, why would you pick it up when the next day is the bulk trash up?
Okay, well.
And I just inquired about getting information on the rules and regulations. Like I said, I've lived there for 48 years. They just told me that, we don't know, we don't have, so how am I supposed to know what the rules and regulations are if there's nothing I can look at?
Well, you are aware that there are specific bulk truck pickup days that you're allowed to do this.
Yes, but it doesn't say how soon or how, what the rules are, how often you can put it out there before the trash.
Okay.
You can put your trash out 24 hours beforehand.
Well, drive around my neighborhood.
Ma'am, I do drive around your neighborhood, and I cite them all.
Okay. All right, I'm going to
Do.
find for the city on this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do I pay here?
You'll get an order in the mail.
So I wait to get another bill?
You wait to get an order.
So I can't pay it now?
I check with these women over here if there's a way to pay it now.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Our next case is also on page 34, an administrative appeal. Inspector Wanda Aquavella, case number SE21060071, case address 807 Southeast 18th Court, owner Sarah Tucker.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Case and
Morning.
address is read. Property was cited on 6/7. Pictures were taken, notice was posted. I went back on 6/9, the trash was still present. I sent the driver, he picked it up on 6/10/2021.
Okay. Sir, please state your name for the record.
Matthew Tucker.
Okay. And what do you want to tell me about this?
I'm both the owner and the attorney for the property. Does Your Honor have the contestment that we filed? Because it has some pictures on it.
No, I don't have anything in front of me right now.
I have it. Yeah.
And so if you go to Exhibit A, circled in yellow is the area in which there was some trash on the property.
Okay,
This is a 4-unit complex.
okay,
And so my belief, there was some trash. My belief is that it was a new tenant or new owner that moved into one of the 4 units. We own the one on the end, so everybody puts their trash out on the end. All right, so she cites it, she puts a notice on the mailbox. If you look at Exhibit C, there's bushes, it's far away from the front door, it's nowhere near. Now this is an Airbnb, this is a vacation rental, so nobody's living there. And in fact, when we got the ticket, it came to our house. It didn't come to this property. It got sent 61 days later to a different property. Okay, so we didn't even know. And 2 days after this, she comes by to pick up the trash. She takes a picture, and you can see that the notice is not even still on the mailbox. So we had a complete lack of due process, because even 2 days later, we had no idea that there was even an issue at this point, because the notice that she stuck on the mailbox or on a piece of wood, and you can see it's barely stuck on there, it's sticking off. So it clearly flew off before we ever even got notice that there was a problem. So there's a due process issue that we didn't have notice. The other problem here is it's not our trash. And subsequent to this, which is kind of interesting, subsequent to this, we actually got another bulk trash ticket. But because they put it on our front door, within days, we were able to pull the camera footage that shows the sidewalk where this trash was. And in fact, we were able to prove in that case that it wasn't our trash and they took it away from us, and actually cited the same neighbor that I believe caused this issue. And so because we didn't get notice for 61 days, the camera footage was gone. If I had gotten the notice from the city 1 day earlier, I would have been able to pull the camera footage and show Your Honor that it was not us that put the trash there. So we didn't have notice that it was there in the first place because they put it around the corner, blocked by a bunch of bushes, away from the front door of the house. And then after that, if they'd just given us notice timely, I would have been able to, because I have 2 cameras pointed at this sidewalk specifically because we're having these types of issues. So if we'd just gotten notice ahead of time, we would have been able to resolve this.
okay. Counsel, you have no idea how many people come in front of me and tell me it's not their trash. That I can't do anything about that. It's still the property owner's responsibility. But I will let the city address the notice issue.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
The notice issue, can you explain?
Well, the reason I posted it there was because everybody goes and picks up their mail. And I didn't know which apartment it came from, so I just posted it on the place where everybody's going to go.
Okay, and under the code, you have to post it somewhere on the property, is that
Yes.
correct? Okay, all right. Okay,
If I may respond to that,
sure.
she says she doesn't know whose it was, but they didn't cite 809 or 811 or 813. She cited 807.
807 belongs to, the swale belongs to 807.
So she should have posted on 807's front door. I mean, we don't use that mailbox. We don't live there. It's a vacation
Okay,
property.
but you know, that is another problem that a lot of people have. They don't live in the properties they own. They're doing Airbnbs, they're doing all these things. You still have to be responsible for your property.
And certainly if it would have been on the door, we could have resolved this. I would have been able to pull the camera footage. And we didn't have due process because of how late the notice got to us.
All right, well, I am going to find that the notice was properly posted on the property.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And fine for the city.
Our next case on page 34. An administrative hearing, Inspector Wanda Aquavella, case number SE21090555, case address 1050 Southwest 30th Street,
Oh, thank you.
owner Merum Priority USA LLC.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Uh, 1050 Southwest 30th Street?
Yes.
Okay, good morning, Your Honor. Wanda Aquavella again. Case and address is read. Property was cited on 9/29. I went back on 10/1, and the trash was still there. And when I cited it, of course, I posted it and took pictures. I went back on 10/1, the trash was still there, took pictures. Sent my driver, he picked it up on 10/4/21.
Sir, please state your name.
Yes, Asito Pass.
Okay.
So basically, as you see, it's not really a bulk trash. It's just big leaves that came from the tree that fell down when on those very windy days that happened in those like 3-4 days. That was we actually walked in the garden. As you see, everything is nice and neat. But during that days, it was very windy, and I guess it flew from the trees on the. So we couldn't take care of them. We didn't see the note that also posted on the gate because we do not live there, but we did not see it. But basically, we walked over there. It was very windy, and I guess that's just flew from the tree, you know. So we had no idea of that.
Okay. Where the trash came from doesn't matter. It's the fact that it's there and had to be picked up by the city after notice to the property owner.
You know, it was very, very windy days those days.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we
but
couldn't-
then she posted notice, she gave you a few days to pick it up. She went back, it was still there, she had someone pick it up, it took them 3 days to get there, it's still there, so I'm gonna fine for the city.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 35. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. This is an administrative hearing for a citation appeal. Case number CE211-00702. Case address 1321 Orange Isle. Owner Patricia Amanov. This property was cited on 10/20/21 to comply by 10/20/21. One section complied at $250. And again, this is a citation appeal.
What page? 34? Oh, I thought you said 25. This one,
The next one. I'm sorry, it's 35.
okay.
It's this one.
Okay, sorry for that. Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. Happy New Year. Glad to have you back. For the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 211-00702 in reference to the property 1321 Orange Isle. This property was initially issued a citation on October 20th, 2021 for the violation 18-4C. There's a sunken vessel tied to the subject property. The vessel was found in derelict state as it was underwater. Vessel registration is expired and does not have a current registration at this time. This violation was referred from the Fort Lauderdale Police Department Marine Patrol Unit in reference to the sunken boat. As per records from FWC, this vessel was underwater for over a month prior to the issuance of the citation. As per records submitted from the appeal that I have here, it was a timeline that was submitted by Ms. Patricia Omanoff. Ms. Omanoff allowed the owner of the vessel, Mr. Gene Berthelo, to keep the vessel at her property for a week. This was back in December of 2020. Mr. Gene never returned for the vessel thereafter. Fort Lauderdale Police Department Marine Unit advised that Ms. Omanoff has been trying to get the city to remove the vessel from her property since March 9th of 2021. She even submitted an incident report number 342103038850, and that was created on behalf of this matter. I was advised by the Marine Patrol Unit that Ms. Omanoff was informed that the city won't go out there and remove the vessel from her property. Ms. Omanoff then requested assistance from the Florida Wildlife Conservation, also known as FWC, FWC began a derelict process on the vessel for removal through a grant with the city of Fort Lauderdale. Upon completion of the due process, the grant was denied after further consideration by Mr. John Luscombe, who's the city of Fort Lauderdale Marine Facilities Director. He just did not want to set a precedent for the city to be removing derelict vessels from private properties. As of January 11, 2022, this was the vessel initially began sinking September 28th. January 11, 2022, the vessel was finally removed from the property as per records submitted from Ms. Omanov's attorney. At that point, the case came into compliance. Communication was received from Ms. Omanov's counsel and stating that Ms. Omanov had paid a sum of $7,500 to get the vessel removed. Due to the facts, the city at this time is requesting the imposition of fines to the sum of $20,750.
Okay, sir, please state your name.
My name is John Phillips. I represent Ms. Omanov. I'm really surprised by Mr. Garcia because I spoke to the supervisor who told me they don't oppose relief being given to my client. This is Ms. Omanov. She's had 2 strokes. She's had other serious issues. The situation in this case, if you listen to the litany of the history, she had a squatter in her backyard. I don't know if Mr. Garcia said, but the boat has been removed promptly at great expense. The Fort Lauderdale police, who was contacted, couldn't help her. FWC, who she repeatedly dealt with probably over a year, I'll let her explain, couldn't help her. The boat owner, who she personally went down twice to get rid of it, and we have certified mail, he wouldn't remove it. She did everything humanly possible to get rid of this. Florida FWC wouldn't help, the city police wouldn't help, the Marine U wouldn't help. She finally got it done. What he's also omitting to say is in December, my client went over to the building, the code enforcement department, and said, I can't be here for the December hearing. Was told, okay, we'll put it on the January hearing. So she wrote a letter, and there was a December hearing. All right, despite the fact that she wrote a letter and went over to the office and said, and she spoke to Silva, and so she was led to believe the hearing would be today, in which we would explain all this. So, Madam Magistrate, I filed, and I have a certified copy of the notice of compliance. There were 12,000 bags of lift bags required. Matt's Marine Towing, I think that's the company the city uses. When I asked about why is there a fine, he goes, well, we can't make an exception. Question is this, how many sunken boat cases comes before?
You'd be surprised.
Okay, okay, but in any event, my client did everything possible. We have photographs, which is in the record, of the removal. I have a courtesy copy for Your Honor, if you like. My client filed an affidavit, which pretty much said she was the victim of a boat squatter who refused to remove it. Her calls to the Fort Lauderdale Police and Florida Fish and Wildlife were fruitless to remove this. Her attempts to have the boat owner
Counsel, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did she give this person permission at one time to put it there? I gave the person. Wait a second.
Hold on. Okay, I don't believe it was her. It was, there was another gentleman, the person put it there to put it there and remove it, and he wouldn't remove it. That's the problem.
Okay.
Objection, Your
Answer
Honor.
my question.
Excuse me, he can't object. He's not a lawyer.
Okay.
He can't object.
Sir, I will run the hearing the way I see fit.
Yes.
Okay.
I gave him the courtesy of not interrupting him.
Okay. What I want to know is if the property owner gave permission to dock the boat.
Answer, no.
Okay. All right. How did it get there then?
The boat owner apparently just planted it there through some other officious interloper. My client told him to get out of it, reported it to the police, reported Florida Wildlife, went down to this I can't even pronounce his name. And by the way, if I can submit as additional evidence, the certified mail attempts that were sent to Mr. Bertollet, who is in North Miami. My client actually went down there and thankfully stopped going there because there was some assault charges out. He was on parole for some violent issues down in Miami-Dade. So can I present the court with this?
Yes.
And can I just state for the record the conversation that we had? At no point did I say that we were going to reduce the fines. My statement was that we were moving forward with the fines. The property was found in violation, and daily fines were commencing. That totaled $20,000.
First, it was 12,000.
Hold on just a second. I spoke to you. You said you wanted a reduction. I said you would have to speak to the magistrate. You're presenting a case for your client on the basis of a hardship. Okay, so I just want to make this statement for my conversation that I had with you this morning.
Okay.
The conversation this morning, I probably have 6 witnesses. He wasn't opposing our request. That's what it was. So anyway, the fact.
Well, I have to maintain some order. So
Yeah.
right now, your counsel is speaking. If he wants to call you as a witness.
I would like to call my client as a witness.
Okay, all right. And please state your name for the record.
My name is Patricia Ameno, and I went to everybody I could go to, the police, Fort Lauderdale. Everybody told me I could not move the boat legally or I would be in trouble with the law. So I didn't move the boat. I went to the guy's house twice, and then what happened was I called the police again. They came out, they called the guy and told him he had to move the boat. He wouldn't move the boat. So the end of the story was the Fish and Wildlife said, if the boat sinks, I can make it derelict, and then you can legally move it. So I waited till the boat sank, so Florida Wildlife could say it was derelict, so then I could legally move the boat. That was the long delay with that. But I kept calling. Fish and Wildlife was there at least 7 times. I mean, I had no opportunity to do anything else because it was against the law, I was told. The Hollywood police called me because the guy had another derelict boat, and I asked him, can you call on him for my boat too? And he said, sure. So I had no other opportunity to do anything until that derelict sticker was on. Once that was on, I was okay to go, everybody told me.
Okay, now I was told you had some hardship. You want to tell me about that?
Magistrate, if I could, just real quick before.
Just let me finish just this one.
The only hardship I had is I've had 2 strokes and I've had open heart.
Okay, all right.
Please tell the Madam Magistrate your efforts to deal with the city prior to the December hearing.
Just that when I got the notice, I went that same day to the city and I said, I'm going to be out of town. Is that a problem? And Miss Silva said it wouldn't be a problem. Can you write me a note? So I wrote her a note while I was standing right there at the door, at the window, and handed her the note. And she said, it's no problem. I'll call him right now and I'll notice it. That'll be there. So when I came back from out of town, the notice was on my door. And I went down the same day and talked to Mr. Garcia and I said, is this a problem? He said, just go to the meeting when you're scheduled.
Okay.
So that's what I did.
All right. Did the city attorney have an objection?
I didn't have an objection, but Your Honor, I just wanted to address the court's question that you asked counsel before, and for the record, Rhonda Montoya Hassan with the city attorney's office. We have the statement from the property owner saying that she's contesting the violation, and in that narrative that's authored by her in response to one of your questions, on date of December 16th, 2020, a gentleman named Gene something bought the boat. At that day, he asked me to leave the boat for 1 week. I agreed, but for 1 week only. So indeed, according to the property owner herself, she did agree initially to have the boat placed there, but again, for only 1 week. Not that she never gave permission. She wrote this. And it's
Okay,
signed.
I'll ask you again, ma'am. Did you give permission for that boat to be there, regardless of how long it was?
I did, but it was to the previous owner that was there. And I just thought they were going to leave. He just stopped, I don't know.
Okay, all right. Counsel, are you finished with your,
Yes, Magistrate. I think it's, first of all, procedurally, the hearing in December should not have taken place that resulted in the order of the fine. Because,
There was no hearing that took place in December, and the fine began to run because there was no compliance within the time frame. Within the time frame for the citation. The citation, ma'am, the citation appeal is being heard today. And again, the compliance date is the compliance date. There was never any order entered
in
with
December?
regard to fines. Today is the day because the property owner is appealing.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may interrupt, just allow me to say a few things. So the citation that was issued as an immediate fine due to an irreversible violation, being that the vessel had been sank since September 28th. That vessel was not only causing an environmental hazard to the waterway, but it was also causing a navigational hazard to the waterway. Again, the purpose of the city is obviously to always obtain compliance, but given the fact in prior case history and other vessels that I've worked myself in the city of Fort Lauderdale, it's not given for the property owner to depend on the city of Fort Lauderdale to remove property from their property, especially if the property was permitted to be there initially, whether it was allowed because the vessel belongs to a friend, or I allowed it because somebody needed help, or dock rental, which in no way we're making accusations here. Given the fact, the city stands with the imposition of fines to the sum, we'll leave it up to your decision.
Okay,
can I ask a couple questions?
sure.
Mr. Garcia, other than calling the police, and you don't dispute that she called the police in the city many times to resolve this, do you?
No, and the
Okay,
police,
that's it.
I didn't call the police, the
No,
police
I'm
called me.
saying. Okay, so the police called you as a result of her calling the police, right?
The police called me because it was reported that the vessel was underwater at the property, and it had been underwater for a
Okay,
period of time.
I understand, but the police called you. Do you know how many times my client called the police?
Again, it's not the city's responsibility.
I ask you, I'm not asking you responsibility. Do you, how many times did my client call the police?
I'm
Do
sure
you
she
know?
called multiple times.
No, do you personally, multiple times, okay.
I'm gonna object to the
No.
relevance.
Okay.
I don't know how this is relevant to any.
Okay,
Okay, let's move on.
do you know how many times, now, do you agree with her that Florida Fish and Wildlife have been involved with this on at least 7 occasions?
The Florida Wildlife Conservation, and I did speak to Lieutenant Brock on this behalf, okay?
Please don't
Lieutenant
tell me
Brock,
what he
allow me
said.
one
No,
second.
excuse me.
No,
Allow me to
wait.
respond.
You asked the question.
Okay,
I want to
asked-
hear the answer,
okay.
sir.
I asked him if he spoke to them. Did you speak to him, yes or no?
May I answer my question in full?
Yes or no?
Yes.
May I answer my question in
I'll
full?
let you
Manny, yes or
explain.
no?
Yes,
Okay, how many times did you speak to Florida Wildlife Commission?
once.
Okay, now, do you have any knowledge as to the number of times my clients reported this to Florida Fish and Wildlife,
I'm gonna object as to relevance.
personally? Your Honor, I think it's relevant as to the bona fides of my client to correct this situation.
But why is it important that he knows how many times that she called them?
Because obviously it's relevant to her attempt to solve this. And I'm getting to the point of Florida Wildlife Commissions telling her that nothing could be done until it was determined derelict.
Okay. Inspector, do you have personal knowledge of how many times she called?
So I don't have personal knowledge of how many times she
Okay.
called FWC.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, you said this boat was a environmental hazard. Do you know if there was any, that would be like oil and stuff?
The vessel itself is an environmental hazard. You have fiberglass that's underwater,
Okay.
and it's infecting our waterways.
Okay, so.
Whether there's oil or fuel, it doesn't matter. It's an object that doesn't belong underwater.
Okay, it's a sailboat, right?
Yes.
And, do you have any other questions? Okay. Yeah, nothing else, Mr. Garcia, thank you.
Okay. All right. Do you have anything else to tell me before I rule?
No, ma'am, but under the circumstances, for the city to come in here and say they want $20,000 on a fine of a woman who couldn't touch, she testified that there was another person came in who was supposed to be moved. The police, her attempts with the police, Your Honor, I don't know if you've seen, I forgot to give you, I'd like for the record to show you the police reports. Okay. I think I referenced them, but, Okay.
While you're looking for that, I have a question. Is it true that she could not legally remove the boat herself?
Your Honor, in my past, when I've worked a case regarding a derelict vessel on a private property that's docked at a private property, and that vessel does not belong to the property owner, the property owner has to take the initiative to seek legal counsel and obtain permission from the courts to be able to remove the vessel from the property, being that because that property owner doesn't have the title or the vessel is not registered under their name, no towing company or no salvage company will remove that vessel from the property. This is why the city of Fort Lauderdale highly encourages to prohibit dock rentals on property. Again, not accusing anybody of dock rental, but this is the reason why the city is so, high on the fact that we want to avoid these kind of cases from happening on properties. Miss Patricia Omanoff is a perfect example of why, you want to avoid these matters, because people disappear and now you have a derelict vessel on your property sinking, taking on water for over a month, given this was underwater since September 28th and it came to be removed from being underwater on January 11th. And during this entire time, you're accruing fines. And now you have a problem in your hands, all because you were trying to help someone.
And is it correct that Florida Fish and Wildlife can come and remove it once it's submerged?
No. So the Florida Fish and Wildlife...
Judge, can I object? He's not competent to testify about this.
Okay, well, I'm asking the question and I want the answer.
So, and this is based on solely my knowledge of working with the Fort Lauderdale Police Department and Florida Wildlife Conservation regarding all the waterway enforcement. The Florida Wildlife Conservation has a derelict vessel due process where they'll red tag a vessel and they'll allow the property owner 30 days for the vessel to be either pulled out of the water or removed from derelict conditions based under the derelict conditions of this Florida statute. Okay, they don't follow local ordinance. Given the removal of the boat is based on a grant that's issued from FWC to the city of Fort Lauderdale. It's up to the city of Fort Lauderdale to make the decision of whether or not that vessel will be removed through the grant. And given the city of Fort Lauderdale is not going to set a precedence for removing,
Okay, so
derelict things
not
from
a
private
court
property.
process. Okay,
Show me.
all right.
My
Anything
client-
else, counsel, before I
Yes,
move?
my client, I think Mr. Garcia brings up an important point. There was a request for a grant to remove that. My client has testified that Florida Fish and Wildlife was out there at least 7 times. A sticker was eventually put on it, and she promptly removed the boat. So we're caught in an administrative catch-22. The police, Florida Wildlife, Mr. Garcia, the city applying for a grant. Finally, the Florida Wildlife came, gave the sticker, and it was removed at a cost of $7,500, Your Honor.
Florida Fish and Wildlife told me I could move the boat because of the derelict sticker. I started that, and I called people, and they said, well, you still have to get a letter from somebody, I don't remember, because you don't have the title. I still didn't own the boat. So the 5 tow companies I called wouldn't do anything because I didn't have a title. But Florida Fish and Wildlife is the one who told me, just wait till I mark it derelict, and then you can file for a paperwork to get the title. But until I got that red sticker, I couldn't file for the title. And I actually went down to that guy's house and I said, can I buy the title from you? Can you give me the title? Anything so we can get the boat out. And he just laughed. He said, I'm going to blow it up. And then when my girlfriend told me that he had been charged previously and was on probation for assault, battery, and a deadly weapon, I thought I'd better not go down and ask anymore.
Okay,
So I did what I knew I could do.
You've also paid my legal fees of several $1,000s in our meeting.
Yes.
okay.
Your Honor, she has suffered financially on this. She suffered emotionally. There's been no purposeful delay on this. I disagree with the gentleman from the city. They said they would not, it's up to the magistrate. Up to the magistrate. That's why we're here. And I think in fairness, the city's not here to make money. It didn't cost the city to tow this. It cost my client and legal fees and costs, so we respectfully request that you're. And I even spoke to Mr. Garcia. I had sent pictures in the city. I took pictures, I hand-delivered them.
Okay,
And Mr.
Counsel.
Garcia said I still have to go there. So it's 4 or 5 days later.
Okay, what is it you're asking me for?
I'm asking you to eliminate the fines on this property.
If I could, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. And just to sum up the city's position, and again, for the record, Rhonda Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. As the inspector stated, Your Honor, and as we mentioned, once we got clarification from the signed statement from the property owner, she did allow the boat, she gave the boat owner permission at the time. This was an environmental hazard. It lasted for some months. While we ultimately rely on Your Honor as to the fine, and we are absolutely about compliance, at the same time, this situation existed for months in the waterways as an environmental hazard. The property owner could have sought her legal counsel instead of coming here and fighting, could have been maybe better served by getting into court and getting some sort of relief from a judge to allow her to remove the vessel quicker, as opposed to just waiting out the time while the environmental hazard and the navigational hazard continued to occur at the property. And we'll leave the decision up to Your Honor as to the amount of the fine.
Okay,
The only reason I didn't go to legal counsel before is because Florida Fish and Wildlife, who was there all the time, told me that nobody can do anything until the boat sinks and it's marked derelict. So that's why I never went anywhere else. I mean, I went to the man's house, I went to the police, but he told me that the courts would not do anything until the boat was marked derelict, and then I could get a title.
okay, all right. I'm going to fine for the city on the appeal, but I'm going to reduce the fine to $5,500.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Our next case is on page 48. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 21090285, case address 2571 Northwest 18th Court. Owner RA Investment Homes LLC. This case was first heard on 11/9/2021 to comply by 12/14/21. 3 sections complied at $50 per day, $3,150 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 21090285 in reference to the property 2571 Northwest 18th Court. This case was first heard on November 9, 2021, of which the magistrate found for the city. As of January 5, 2022, all violations have been complied, and the city is requesting the imposition of fines to the sum of $3,150. In case the magistrate is inclined to reduce these fines, we'd like to point out that the administrative costs have been incurred to the city into a total of $580.
Okay. Good morning. Please state your name for the record.
Alex Rondin.
Okay, and why did it take so long to clean up this property?
I was away. I was visiting my daughter. She lives out of the country. And as soon as I come back, I took care of this, comply with everything. So I don't mind to pay the $500, and that's it.
Okay, were you out of,
I was out of the country. Yeah, I came back December 25. and I complied with 2 days. It took me 2 days to do everything.
When did you leave the country?
October 29.
Okay, and how long were you gone?
It was almost 2 months.
Almost 2 months?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll reduce the fine to administrative costs of $580.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 22. Inspector Evan Oakes. Case number CE 21071110. Case address 954 Northwest 24th Avenue. Owner Mode Nicholas. Property posted 1822. Posted at City Hall 11322. We have a respondent for 954 Northwest 24th Avenue.
She was here, Katrina. She had to go to work.
She didn't stay?
No.
Okay, we'll move on to the next case, no worries. Thank you. You don't have to read it in. Our next case is on page 16. Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne. Case number CE 211-00636, case address 2841 North Ocean Boulevard. Owner Vantage View Inc. Property posted 12/9/21. Posted at City Hall 11322.
Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning. Senior Inspector Cologne for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case number is CE 211-00636. Address is 2841 North Ocean Boulevard. This property was first inspected by Inspector Flores on October 20th, 2021. And the following violations were observed. 9-309A has been withdrawn. And 9304B, there was a circular driveway along Federal Highway that was, along the beach that was in disrepair. I conducted a pre-hearing inspection on January 25th, 2022, and it shows that the violation remained as depicted in the pictures. And I would like for it to be presented for the record. And the city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Morning.
Good morning.
State your name for the record.
Yes, Your Honor. Jeff Green on behalf of Vantage View.
Okay, is your client in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 28 days?
We would request more time, Your Honor. This property is subject to an open building permit
Okay,
with Custom Group. They're doing concrete restoration, and it also involves repairing the roadway. They have an engineer. They're actually been working with the city for the past couple of months to get the permit, anything answered, and continue with the work. I did present the permit and to the city attorney as well to inform her prior to the hearing. I'm told it's going to take 3 to 6 months to complete this, so we would ask for that extension of time. It's with the building department, so there's really nothing we can do to speed up what they need for the permit. But we are complying. They have a contractor, a Custom Group, very well-known in the community. So yes, we're not disputing the condition, but it's being addressed and has been addressed. So we can only go as fast as the permit will allow.
okay.
With that heard, I would suggest the city won't oppose to 91 days, but I would also like a mandatory reappearance
Okay.
to see where we're at.
All right, I'm gonna give you 91 days and reappear to tell us progress on 4/28/22.
I appreciate that. Will I get notice myself now that I'm counsel of record, or?
I believe so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, have a good morning.
All right.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 54. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 2106088. Case address 1751 Northwest 26 Terrace. Owners Adele Wilson, DeGrosse, and June Wilson. This case was first heard on 11/9/21 to comply by 12/7/21. 5 sections not complied at $50 per day, $12,750 has accrued, and this is a request for an extension.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 2106-0188 in reference to the property 1751 Northwest 26 Terrace. This case was first heard on November 29th, 2021, of which the magistrate found for the city. At this time, the property is known to remain in violation. A request for extension has been made by the property owner at this time. It is unknown how much time it is being requested for compliance. Due to the violations that were cited on the property, the city does not oppose no more than 42 days.
Okay.
Good morning.
Please state your name for the record.
Deborah Gross.
Yeah, why is it taking so long to fix this property?
I lost my property manager. To stay
Ca-
up on top
Yeah,
of
can you speak into the microphone?
Yes, ma'am. I lost my property manager. She moved out of state, so I have to do it myself. And it's kind of hard for me to travel back and forth from Georgia to see about it, but I can do it now.
Okay, all right. And how much time are you asking for?
How long you say, Mr. Garcia?
42 days, okay?
Yeah, the city doesn't oppose
All
no
right,
more.
42-day extension. And please get it done during that period of time.
Yes, ma'am. I will.
I'll suspend the fines during that time, but then they'll start to run again if it's not done.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 19. Inspector Gustavo Caracas. Case number CE 211-00300. Case address 1212 Northwest 14th Street. Owner Community 8 Properties LLC. Property posted 1/5/22. Post at City Hall 1/13/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance Inspector, presenting case number CE 211-00300 for the property located at 1212 Northwest 14th Street. Inspection of the property was performed on October 11, 2021, and cited for the following violations. 9-305B. The landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead or missing ground cover, including but not limited to the swale and the right-of-way. 9-304B complied, and 18-12A has been complied as well. Courtesy notice was mailed to the property owner listed on BCPA via first-class mail on October 11, 2021, allowing 10 days to come into compliance. Contact has been made with the property manager. Special magistrate request form sent on December 1st, 2021 to schedule for today's special master hearing. Pre-hearing inspection was done on January 24th of this year, and pictures presented here are taken to confirm that violations still exist. City's requesting 28 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 thereafter. Photo submitted into record for evidence, ma'am. We have
Okay.
the manager today present
Thank
with
you.
us.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning. My name is Andres Larks.
Are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance in 28 days?
Yes, we actually did it. The inspection was made, yes, you can see on the date, January 24th. We had the date 25th, 2 days before the special magistrate to comply. I sent a picture also to the inspector, but it bounced back. So I sent it to the supervisor to please allow me, to ask you for permission to forward it to the inspector. So hopefully, yes, absolutely, we are in compliance.
Okay, all right, so 28 days will give you plenty of time to re-inspect.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 3. Senior Inspector Wilson Quintero, case number CE 211-20149. Case address 1133 Northwest 5th Street, owner Community 8 Properties LLC. Property posted 12/28/21, posted at City Hall 11322.
Good morning, Your Honor. Senior Inspector Quintero Senior, on behalf of the city, I'm presenting case number CE 21120149 for the property located at 1133 Northwest 5th Street. I first inspect this residential occupied rental property on 12/7/2021, following an action item complaint, and the following minimum housing code violations were found and cited. 18-4 is in compliance. 9-280H1, the chain link fence at this property is in disrepair and needs to be maintained as required. The fence is broken, poles and broken missing parts from the fence. 47-21.16. Is comply. 47-20.20. H, there are parking facilities that are not maintained on this property. The driveway has dirt, oil stains, trash, and debris on it. 47-34.4. is in compliance. The posting mailer or legal document has been done by Department of Protocol. Manager and property owners are aware of the complaint and violations. The BCPA reveal is no changes in the ownership since 4/30/2012, and the property is not homestead. A pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, 1/25/2022, reveals a couple violations remain as depicted in the pictures. The city is recommending 49 days to come into compliance, or $50 a day to begin to accrue thereafter for each violation.
Did you say 49 days?
49 days, according with the manager, and then $50 thereafter.
Okay. So state your name again for the record.
My name is Andras Schlecht.
Okay. Are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 49 days?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You want to submit the paperwork for evidence, yeah.
Okay.
Our next case is on page 11. Inspector Boverexantis, case number CE 21060765, case address 1609 Lauderdale Manor Drive, owner Community 8 Properties LLC, property posted 1/8/22, posted at City Hall 11322.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Exantus on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement. Case number CE 21060765, property address 1609 Lauderdale Manor Drive. This property was first inspected in June 26, 2021, and the following violations were observed. Violation 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover, including the swale areas. Violation 47-34.1.8.1, there is outdoor storage on this property, including but not limited to refrigerators, table, fish tank, and other miscellaneous items. This is a non-land use in this RS8 zone residential property. Violation 47-34.4.B.1 is complied. Violation 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia boards, are rotten. And in disrepair, there are areas of the exterior that have stain and missing peeling paints. Violation 18-12, there's trash and debris on the property. Violation 18-4C, there's a derelict boat on a trailer park on the property, which was on the swell, then moved to the property with no tag, no registration on the vehicle, on the boat. A notice of hearing was posted on the property on January 8, 2022, and a pre-hearing inspection was conducted on January 20, 2022, revealed as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 31 days to correct all violation or a fine of $25 for each day thereafter.
21 days?
31.
31. Okay. 35?
$25. 31 days, $25. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 35 days. I'm sorry.
We have to go by my calendar. Okay, please state your name again.
My name is Andras Schlecht.
All right. Are you in agreement to bring the property in compliance within 35 days?
We are going to try. The issue is that the tenant actually were given multiple times notices. We did our part in terms of the delivering the grass, which took us like more than 1 month to get it. It's really difficult to get actually the grass. That's why sometimes we're asking more. The tenant was delivered non-renewal. They need to move out by the end of January. As of their text messages, they are not planning to, so we have to start the eviction from February 1st if they are still at the property, because they didn't help us to, to solve the violations.
So what are you asking for?
A little bit more time than 35 days.
Okay. Any
It
objection?
takes like 1.5 months usually.
Okay.
Your Honor, the city will not oppose to 63 days.
All right, 63 days or $25 a day thereafter.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 29. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 211-00664, case address 3021 Northwest 19th Street. Owner Rdafa LLC in care of Family Dollar. Attention Leasing Accounting, ST number 30486. Personal service was given to this property on 1/7/22 and posted at the City Hall on 1/13/22.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 211-00664 in reference to the property 3021 Northwest 19th Street. This property was initially cited on October 24th, 2021 for the violation 47-19.5.D.5. There's a buffer wall on this B2 county zone property that it needs repair, there are cracks and uneven areas of the buffer wall. A reinspection was performed on December 2nd, 2021 and found that the violation remains on the property. At that time, the case was referred to a hearing. A pre-hearing inspection was performed on January 21st, 2022, and as per the photos depict, the violation remains on the property. Due to the fact the city is requesting 63 days for compliance or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, please state your name.
Good morning, Your Honor. Connor Milo on behalf of the respondent.
Okay. Is your client in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 63 days?
Yes, Your Honor, we are. While I'm before you all, I just have a question.
Sure.
I'm trying to make sure that we're not here again. And I
Okay.
was speaking with Mr. Garcia and his supervisor, Mr. White, before, and I understand that there are a number of issues with the property. And I think that the buffer wall kind of contributes to some of them in terms of the illegal dumping components and the issues that have been had. If the wall were to be taken down completely, would we be in compliance with this or no? We have to repair it. And my asking of that is this. What if we tore down the wall completely and then extended this buffer wall to the end of the property? That's kind of my thinking. I'm just trying to solve, as many problems at once. How would that
Inspector,
work?
does this property need a buffer wall?
So being that this property is a commercial property at the entrance of a residential neighborhood, as per zoning, you are required to have a buffer wall. As far as this question regarding to extend it all the way to the property line, that's, setbacks are, question. It's up to the Building and Zoning Division to make that available to them. If not, to submit a
Variance?
variance. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So, and I apologize. My question about if we tear down the wall completely, do we not comply?
No. You have to have a buffer wall because you're a commercial property up against a residential neighborhood.
If we were to tear down the wall, we would have to build it again in 63 days.
So, in theory, Your Honor, the violation is the fact that the buffer wall is in disrepair and it needs maintenance. For them to remove the wall, they're going to require a demolition permit for the accessory structure. Given that, if you guys want to go to that extent, we're going to have to come back at you guys because you're missing a buffer wall.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we give you 63 days, you figure out what you want, and then I'll give you a notice to reappear.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it, Your Honor.
Well, yeah. can you reappear on, 3/24/22?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll be here whenever you
So
want.
reappear in 56 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
You too.
Our next case is on page 16. I'm sorry, no, it's not, page 32. Senior Inspector Wilson Quintero, case number CE 21071152, case address 2637 Gulfstream Lane, owner Marla's Home. This property received certified mail on 12/20/21 and was posted at City Hall on 1/13/22.
32. Okay, thanks.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, I'm with you.
Senior Inspector Quintero, Senior, number 269, on behalf of the city. I'm presenting case number CE 21071152 for the address located at 2637 Gulfstream Lane. Inspector Belva, number 308, first inspect this residential vacant property on 8/21/2021, following a neighbor complaint, and the following minimum housing code violations were found and cited. 18-4.4C is in compliance. 9-306, the exterior building wall has not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia, soffit, are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. 9-280H1, the chain link fence in the rear yard is in disrepair. The top bar sections of the screen mesh is detached from the fence or removed. Sections of the chain link fence are bent and not in good repair. 18-12A, there is trash and debris on the property. The tree debris is covered in the ground, and the wooden porch is behind repair and is accumulated debris. The posting mailing of legal document has been done by the Department of Protocol. BCPA records reveal is no changes in the ownership since 11/1/1988, and the property is 100% homestead. A pre-hearing inspection on Thursday reveals that the violation remains as depicted in the pictures. The vehicle was towed to comply with the violation. The exhibit pictures are in the electronic file being displayed. The city is recommending 28 days to come into compliance, or $25 a day to begin to accrue for each violation thereafter.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. So regarding the exterior walls,
State your name first for the record.
sure, Jarrett Williams on behalf of Marlee's Home,
Uh-huh.
homeowner. Regarding the first violation, there was a car parked there that had Pennsylvania tags. It did have a current registration through Pennsylvania, but it had been there for some
Okay,
time.
but that's complied.
Right. The exterior walls, the stains and the peeling paint, the owner has hired somebody to take care of that, and I understood some more specificity here from Wilson.
Okay, can they complete all the repairs and bring the property in compliance within 28 days?
No, Your Honor, we're going to be asking for a 90-day extension, but I have a couple more points to make. The chain link fence, they're going to be removing that in whole, but that requires a permit, so we're beholden to how long that takes. That's the reason for the 90-day extension. And then also the trash and debris that's out there. The owner hired a company. They failed to do their job. The owner's hired somebody new to get that done. So we're asking a 90-day extension to get all four of those violations taken care of.
Okay, any objection from the city?
56 days will be enough, yeah. 56.
Okay, all right. Some of this stuff I think can be done within that time, most of it. The chain link fence to remove, do you need a
No permit.
permit to remove it? No. All right, so I'm gonna give
But
50,
Your Honor, I don't know if they require a fence in there because they're facing the lake. They're facing one of the
Okay.
aisles.
okay.
So maybe they're gonna have to replace, but to remove or not, to erase the other one, yeah, they're gonna need a
Okay,
permit.
well, you're gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna give you 56 days, but if your client runs into trouble, make sure they contact the inspector. You could always request an extension. If you're being diligent, we try to work with you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 52. Inspector Gustavo Caracas. Case number CE 21050919, case address 706 Northwest First Avenue, owner Blue River Realty LLC. This case was first heard on 12/9/21 to comply by 1/13/22. Two sections not complied at $50 per day. $1,400 is accrued, and this is a request for an extension.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale, case number CE 21050919, located at 706 Northwest First Avenue. This case first came before Special Master on December 9th of 2021, where evidence was presented and magistrate found for the city. These violations were first cited on May 27 of 2021, and a total of 12 re-inspections have been done to the property so far. I finally met the owner of these properties, and during the conversations, we spoke about how to come into compliance. Basically, we have no compliance as of January 24th. The city is requesting 28 days and a cease of fines as well, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, please state your name.
My name is Sidney Miller.
Okay.
We completed all the requests of the city right now.
Okay, do you still need an extension?
Yes, if I need to yeah.
Okay, 28 days.
Yes,
so
28
the
days.
Inspector can re-inspect it, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you
Good.
very much.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 46. Inspector Patrice Jolly, case number CE 211-00782, case address 842 Southwest 11th Court, owner Emil Anur. This violation was cited on 11/22/21 to comply by 12/7/21. One section complied at $200 per day, $6,800 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount and no appeals received for this citation.
Good morning.
Hello? Okay. Excuse me. Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Patrice Jolly for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 211-00782 for the property located at 842 Southwest 11th Court. This property was issued a citation on November 22nd, 2021, and given 15 days to correct the following violation. 15-272.A, this property is being utilized as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city. The violation remained until compliance was met on January 11th, 2022. No appeal was filed. The city is requesting the fines be imposed as read.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Magistrate. My name is Emel Onur. I am the owner of the property.
Okay, did you file an appeal in this matter?
No, ma'am, I did not. I know by now I realize that ignorance or absence in the country is not an excuse, but I realized that by listening to everybody. But I gave this to a management company and expected them to do everything on time. Apparently,
The problem is, let me stop you, because the problem is if you don't request the appeal, like some of the other cases I've heard, they requested an appeal. I cannot, everything that the city says is deemed admitted, and so I have no discretion but to enter the fine.
I see.
However, you do have the possibility of going for a through the lien reduction process, and then you can tell me all of this, and I will try to see what I can do for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, have a nice day.
Fine imposed.
Thank you,
You
Anna.
too.
Our next case is on page 13. Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne. Inspector Michelle Sharir, presenting case number CE 21080878, case address 1646 Northeast 12 Terrace, owner Grace Community Development Corp. of Florida, Inc., property posted 1/13/22, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Michelle Cheriar for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case number CE 210-80878 for the property located at address 1646 Northeast 12th Terrace. This property was first inspected on September 2nd, 2021. A follow-up inspection was conducted on September 7th, 2021, and an inspection report was issued for the following violation. 9306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia and soffits, are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paints. A pre-hearing inspection on January 25th, 2022 shows that the violation remains as depicted on the pictures and presented for the record. The city is requesting 42 days to comply or $50 thereafter. $50 per day thereafter.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Woodside Noel.
Okay. Are you in agreement to bringing the property into compliance within 42 days?
Well, we are in agreement to bring it in compliance, but we feel that 60 days would be more appropriate for us because this property hasn't been on our name for the past 2 years, and we've been fighting in court, and we think 60 days would be appropriate for us to bring it into compliance.
Okay. Any objection from the city for 63 days?
Your Honor, although this property is in a commercial area, it's a commercial property, it is in a residential area and it's facing residential properties. So this is, yeah, we would like to stay with the 42.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you 42, but if you have a problem and you can't complete it on time, contact the inspector because you can request an extension. And if you're being diligent, doing whatever you have to do, we'll try to work with you, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Your Honor, I would also like to present the inspection report for the record.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 21. Inspector Gustavo Caracas. Case number CE 210500921. Case address 712 Northwest 1st Avenue. Owner Blue River Realty LLC. Property posted 12/28/21. Posted at City Hall 11322.
Thank you, ladies. Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Inspector, presenting case number CE 21050921 for the property located at 712 Northwest 1st Avenue. Inspection of the property was performed on May 27 of 2021 and cited for the following violations. 18-12A, there's overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris on the property and on its swale. Your Honor, this is a recurring violation and the case is presented before you for the following cases. CE 190813995, CE 190205558, CE 170700214, whether or not it comes into compliance. 9-280H1, the chain link fence located on the vacant lot is in a state of disrepair and is not being maintained as required. The fence is leaning over. Courtesy notice was mailed to the property owner listed on BCPA on May 28, 2021, allowing 10 days to come into compliance. Again, Your Honor, the owner, I've made contact with the owner recently. Special magistrate request sent on September 23rd of 2021 to be scheduled for today's special master. Pre-hearing inspection was done on January 24th, 2022, and the picture presented here were taken to confirm the violations still exist. The city is requesting the following: 28 days to come into compliance for all the violations, or $50 thereafter for each of the violations that exist. Photo submitted into record, Your Honor. And
Okay.
we have the property owner present with us.
All right.
Hi.
Sir, please state your name.
Sidney Miller.
Are you in agreement to bring the property into
Yeah.
compliance within 28 days? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Finding a fact that the violation exists, it looks like it's a recurring violation, so you need to be on top of it because you could be fined automatically.
Okay,
All right.
I know that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 53. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia, case number CE 21050406, case address 801 Southwest 31st Avenue, owner Elizabeth Giles. This case was first heard on 10/28/21 to comply by 12/7/22. Two sections not complied at $50 per day. Fines are due to start 1/28/22, and this is a request for an extension.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 21050406 in reference to the property 801 Southwest 31st Ave. This case was first heard on October 28, 2021, and the magistrate found for the city. At this time, the property is requesting an extension to comply with the violations. It was noted that permit number BLD RPAV 21110011 has been issued to the property to repair the driveway at this time. The city does not oppose an extension for 63 days to comply with all the violations.
Okay, please state your name for the record, sir.
Robert Siggles.
Okay, are you in agreement with the 63-day extension? Okay, all right, thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, that was 63 days, and we will stay the fines during that period.
Our next case is on page 40. Case number CE 19061756, Inspector Boverexantis. Case address 2700 Northwest 16th Street, owners Johnny Lee and Valerie Ann Rose. This case was first heard on 7/29/21 to comply by 8/26/21, suspended 10/28/21 to 12/9/21. Three sections not complied at $25 per day, $10,425 accrued, and this is a request for an extension.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Exantus, on behalf of the City of Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case and address as read by the clerk. Property owners here to request an extension. At this time, I would let them speak.
Okay. Sir, please state your name.
Good morning. My name is Lawrence Shaliga, and I'm with the City of Fort Lauderdale Housing and Community Development Division. And I have been working on this house now for the last 6 or 7 months. My contractor got the notice to proceed in middle of July. The house had existing code violations on it. Since that time, I put on a new roof. I've had the house painted. I've had new doors put in. I just had a new driveway put in. The pool has been cleaned. And I'm still waiting on the windows. The windows have been taking forever. 3 weeks ago, my contractor ordered windows from Mr. Window about 4 or 5 months ago, and the windows still haven't come in because of the glass shortages.
Right.
So he got his deposit back, and he went to another company, and he emailed me this morning because I told him I was at this hearing, and he said the windows are due in late February. So once the windows come in, he'll put the windows in, and that'll really clean the facade of the house up because the house has been neglected for years. And so once the windows go in, he'll do the final touch-ups with the painting, and then that project closes out.
Okay, how much time do you need?
He's telling me he needs till at least the end of February, so I would like to have as much time as humanly possible. So I'm embarrassed to keep coming up in front of you asking for extensions. And so if he's telling me the end of the end of February, so that is just over a month from now, could you give me at least 45 more days?
Okay. Any objection?
Your Honor, as mentioned by the representative right now, so it says, yes, this case has been open for a long time and been coming before you for a very long time. And so I would like, if I may, request a 70 days extension as the last and final extension.
That would be wonderful.
Okay, 70?
70.
Okay, all right, 70-day extension. the last one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, bro.
And stay the fines during that period. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to keep reminding me.
Our next case is on page 35. Inspector Patrice Jolly. Case number CE 211-10092, case address 1329 Northeast First Avenue. Owner Nikolai Kozma. This case was cited on 11/5/21 to comply by 11/21/21. One section not complied at $200 per day. $13,400 has accrued, and this is a citation appeal. Page 35.
Thank you. Sorry for that.
And this is a citation appeal.
Could have sworn I shut that off. Yell at myself.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Patrice Jolly for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 2111-0092 for the property located at 1329 Northeast First Avenue. This property was issued a citation on November 5th, 2021, and given 15 days to correct the following violation. 15-272.A, this property is being utilized as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city. Contact was made with the property owner on November 17th when he emailed the city requesting an administrative hearing. The property owner states the reason for the hearing, for the appeal, was his tenant continues to host guests and lists the property for short-term rental use against his wishes. An active listing was found both on November 22nd for a reinspection and also a reinspection conducted on December 7th, 2021. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on January 26th, where the evidence shows that the violation remains. The city is requesting the fines continue to run until the case comes into comply and the full imposition.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Nick Komsa.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. What is it you want to tell me?
Well,
Start with why the advertisement hasn't been taken down to comply this case.
Well, I'm the legal owner of the home, but I do have a lease that was entered into in February of 2021. The tenant who's been using or rented my place got the notice from the city that it's being used as an Airbnb or vacation rental, and I contacted her. She denies, and I have all the communication that she denies that it's being used as an Airbnb, that it is listed, but she's using the listings to fulfill other properties. I told her, I said, and her own attorney, and I have all the correspondence that I've given Mr. Jolly, and I can give yourselves as well, from her attorney, myself as well, telling her, you cannot do it, you cannot do it, you cannot do it, you cannot do it. My attorney has given me an affidavit to present today, where I have a notarized letter that I want to present for her to apply for the proper licensing, because the problem is that she has no license from the city. So I've got the paperwork that I want to give to her to err in caution. I mean, I don't have any proof that she's actually using it. I know it's listed. She's denying that it's being used, but it's a rogue tenant who refuses any communication with me. She's been there a year. I'm not using it, like I said, I'm not using it as a short-term vacation rental. I don't even live in the state. I'm out of the state. I live up in Kentucky. I flew down today for the hearing. I was going to come down. We had a hearing set for last week that I was exposed to COVID. I couldn't make to, so we had it postponed.
If she's not using it, why doesn't she just take the advertisement down?
Well, she's had zero communication with me for the last 60 days since I was given the notice, and her attorney, my attorney, I've all told her. Her own attorney has told her, you cannot do it, but she will not communicate whatsoever. There's zero communication. We're proceeding to try and, because it's being rented to a corporation rather than a person, I can't go for an eviction on the property. I have to go for a return of property, I guess, is what my attorney's telling me. And he's telling me that he can take my money to represent me in court. He said, but you're in a lose-lose situation. Either you're going to win, and the judge will just make her come compliant, in which case you still have her there, or you lose and she's suing you for attorney's fees and you're paying my fees and her fees. He says you really have nothing to lose. You need to help her get the license or give her what she needs to get the property back in compliance, or to get the the license that she needs from the city.
Well, if if you can do that, you could get her to take down the site. The problem is she's not cooperating.
She's not cooperating. It's a rogue tenant. This has been causing me agita now for almost a year since she's moved in, and I have never met the woman. I was living in Kentucky. This is my private home in Fort Lauderdale that I rented to her, and I find out in November from Inspector Jolly that it's being used as an Airbnb, and I have, again, like I say, I have all the communication up until the most recent June 30th was the last communication with her. And I said, why are you still listing my house on Airbnb when you've been told blah, blah, blah. So I have all the communications that I've had with her. And it's just all stopped. She's even stopped communicating with her own attorney. And her last communication to my attorney was she will have no more communication with her attorney, my attorney, or the landlord, myself, until the lease expires.
And when is that?
Another 2 years. So I have actually gotten, my attorney suggested that I get, and I have the original, this is a copy of my copy, but I have the original, a notarized authorization that says, in the interest of caution, please accept this affidavit as owner consent to use the property as a vacation rental subject to tenant's compliance with applicable laws and requirements, to at least get it so that she could use it. Whether I can even get hold of her, which is why I brought the notarized copy original with me, because I don't know if I should just put it in on her behalf, because I understand for a tenant to be able to do something like that, they have to have the homeowner's permission to use it.
Well, yeah, but people do it all the time. So what do you suggest? He, as a homeowner, can go through the process of complying it, can't he?
Well, he first has to get the ads removed. So that's the first part to compliant. There can't be any advertising because it's not a certified property. And to even have her to complete the application, whatever fines accrued has to be paid. So it has to go through the process of compliance, and then he has to pay the fines to close the case. Then they could apply and receive the vacation rental certification once they approve, be approved for it.
City Attorney, have a suggestion here?
Thank you for asking, Your Honor. Rhonda Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. Unfortunately, it is the owner's in a little bit, or quite a bit, of a pickle, because part of the requirement, as you know, is an inspection of the property. And if the tenant isn't communicating with anyone, including her own lawyer, even if the property owner undertakes the efforts to get a certificate, they're still going to need coordination with the tenant who's in possession to have an inspection of the property. In terms of what the city can do, obviously we're very limited, and clearly the property either needs to have a certificate or the ad needs to be taken down, and the property owner probably is not going to be able to have the ad taken down because he did not place the ad. Again, I can't give legal advice to the property owner, but
what are his options at this point?
I mean, he's got to, I would assume, take some action in civil court to force it to a resolution, an injunction or some sort of, action. I don't know the terms of his lease. If he gets a violation or a citation, does he have any remedies under the lease? Which he could also bring forward to court and show, hey, I've gotten, this order and my tenant's responsible for it. So unfortunately, I think it's really a civil issue between him and his tenant for his attorney to try to navigate.
Okay, if I was inclined to give him some relief, though.
Give him some time. He did appeal, and so Your Honor, of course, does have discretion on the imposition. You could certainly give him time and stay any fines if Your Honor so inclined.
Okay.
And maybe in order to reappear to
yes,
ascertain the status.
Your Honor,
okay,
I'm sorry. Could I just add to that? I appreciate what the city attorney is saying. I just want to get the property in compliance. I'd like to get her the proper paperwork that she needs to apply to get the proper licensing and variance, and I just want to sell the property.
Okay.
Fines right now have accrued to more than I can collect from rent from her in a year. So I'm asking, please, if we can.
All right, I'm gonna give you 56 days. I'm gonna stay the fines during that period of time to give you a chance to try to sort this out and get things going. And I'm gonna give you an order to reappear. in 56 days and give me a progress report, okay?
Okay, and I understand this is no more able to be done by Zoom. It all has to be in person, because I have to fly down from Kentucky to do this, and I'd fly in yesterday and I fly back out today, only because my attorney who would represent me, on top of the $10,000 in
Yeah,
fines,
you can have someone else represent you here in the hearing.
does it have to be my attorney who wants $5,000 to represent? I mean,
No, I think you can give someone a power of attorney to represent you at the hearing.
I don't mind coming back down, especially if it can be resolved in that time, but please, I do need some relief on that accrued fines. And
I won't do that till I see what progress is being made. So you're gonna have to come back and address that another time.
so if it does become in compliance, you'll consider,
Then I'll consider reduction of the fines.
thank
And
you.
again, you can't have someone other than counsel represent you as long as you execute a power of attorney for them to appear on your behalf and
I
update.
understand. Would the magistrate like the copies of the communications that I've had with, I give it to Mr.
If you want
Jolly.
to submit them for the record, that's fine.
Okay, I did submit them with Mr. Jolly, the exhibit
Okay,
A, the
then they'll
release.
be part of the record.
That'll be part of the record. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 10, Inspector Boverexantis,
Good nightmare cell Florida is.
case number CE 21060915, case address 912 Northwest 13th Street, owner Hadley McLaren, property posted 1/12/22, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Inspector Exantus on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case number CE 2109, 2106 or 915, property address 912 Northwest 13th Street. Property was first inspected in June 30th, 2021, and the following violations were observed. Violation 24-27B. There are waste containers left out overnight after collection days and not pulled back to an approved location. Violation 9-304B. There are vehicles parked on the swell on the grass lawn areas. Violation 9-306 is complied. Violation 1812A is complied. As seen in the pictures, there are dead missing ground cover. A new case has been opened for that, as well as the commercial vehicle that's parked on the property. A notice of hearing was posted on property on January 12, 2022, and the pre-hearing inspection was conducted on January 22nd, 2022, revealed as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 7 days to correct all violation or a fine of $25 for each day thereafter.
No 7 days, Bovary, so I'm sorry, 10 days.
10 days.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Good morning. My name is Laura McLaren Bailey.
Please speak into the microphone.
Good morning. My name is Laura McLaren Bailey. Pretty much all these violations, I corrected them. I was actually out of the country as soon as I came in back and I saw it. Everything is corrected.
Okay, all right, so I'll give the 10 days and he can come out and re-inspect.
Okay.
And $25.
$25.
Yeah, and $25 a day thereafter
Okay, Your Honor.
for each violation.
Everything is corrected.
Okay, good, good. All right, he just needs to go out there then and verify.
Correct.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 27. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia, case number CE 21080705, case address 1113 Southwest 22nd Terrace, owner Fernil and Carrion Vayalumkal, property posted 12/15/21, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 21080705 in reference to the address 1113 Southwest 22nd Terrace. This property was initially cited on August 24th, 2021 for the following violations. 9-280H complied, 9-280B complied, 9-305B, the landscape of this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 9-305A, there's growth of landscape material along with an accumulation of leaves encroaching onto the public right-of-way. 47-34.1.8.1 has complied. 18-12A has complied. 24-27B has complied. 18-4C has complied. 9-304B, the driveway approach on the property is in disrepair. The driveway approach does not comply with the regulations. It is not a hard or dustless surface. A re-inspection was performed on November 17, 2021, of which the property was found to remain in violation. At that time, the property was requested to schedule for today's hearing. A pre-hearing inspection was performed on January 21st, 2022, and as per the photos depict, the property remains in violation. At this time, the city is requesting 49 days for compliance or a fine of $25 per day per violation thereafter.
Please state your name for the record.
Franel Bailanco.
Okay, are you in agreement to bring the rest of the property into compliance within 49 days?
Yes, I am.
Okay, or $25 a day thereafter?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 52. Inspector Boverexantis. Case number CE 210402220, case address 1011 Northwest 14th Street, owner Janie and James Houston. This case was first heard on 8/26/21 to comply by 10/28/21, suspended 12/9/21 to 1/13/22. 4 sections not complied at $50 per day, $9,800 is accrued, and this is a request for an extension.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Inspector Exantus on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement. Case number CE 21040220, property address 1011 Northwest 14th Street. This case appeared twice before the special magistrate, first in August 26, 2021, and the property owner was given 63 days to correct all violation, and the case reappeared before the magistrate on December 9, 2021, and property owners was granted 35 days to fix all violation. At this time, all violation property remains in violation. The city would like to request a final extension of 21 days to have all violation come to compliance.
Sir, please state your name.
James Houston Jr.
Okay, are you in agreement with the 21-day extension to finally get this property into compliance?
Yes, amigos.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 28. I'm sorry. Our next case is on page 34, which is an administrative hearing. Inspector Wanda Aquavella, but it will be presented by Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr., case number SE 210900527, case address 2160 Southwest 16th Court, owner Tamara Sue Esquivel, and this is an administrative appeal.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr., number 317, presenting on behalf of Inspector Wanda Aquavella. Apologize for my appearance. I wasn't scheduled to present this case, but I come in to assist her. I am familiar with this case, property and case number as read. It was cited on September 28th for bulk trash violation. The property was posted. And on September 30th, I went back, did the reinspection, the items remained. And then on October 1st, the items were removed by the city. I did speak to the property owner here after the fact, and I explained the situation. The city incurred the cost already to remove the items. He's just here to kind of plead his side of the story and see, what could be done. But ultimately, as he claims, the property is vacant, and he didn't find out until after the fact. So I'll let him tell his side of the story.
Okay, sir, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Edward Esquivel.
Okay, and what would you like to tell me?
The reason I'm here is just because I believe that the fine is just a little bit exceeded. I understand why the fine is there. As a matter of fact, I've worked with a lot of your inspectors, and everybody in the city has been extremely, always very welcoming and very pleasant to work with. This was a little surprise to us. Previously, I've had bulk trash pickup stuff and actually charged me on the site because it was a lot more. But this was a little bit of a surprise for us. We are the owners of the property. But unfortunately, I think a neighbor put that in front of our house.
Yeah.
And so-
Unfortunately, there's nothing I could do about that. It's still your
No,
responsibility.
that's not my point. My point is that I think $240, for 4 palm trees is 4 palms.
Yeah, see, the problem
that-
is if it's a few.
That's the only reason I'm
palm
here in
rods or
front of
it's-
you.
They still have to come out and pick it up, and so there's still a cost involved with that. Is this cost any different than any other?
No, this is the minimum fee for a bulk trash violation. As it being a violation, it starts at $240. If it was a larger pile, it would be more money. But the minimum is $240 when the city has to go and remove it as a violation.
Okay, I'm gonna find for the city that violation existed, and nothing else I can do for you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 7. Inspector Darren Emmons. Case number CE 21090090. Case address 1007 Citrus Isle. Owner Frank Hottenrod. The property owner is not present. However, we did have neighbors that signed in this morning that would like to have been heard on this matter, and I didn't want to keep them waiting. They came in at 8.
Good morning.
My name's Julie Griffin.
Okay,
My name's Teresa Rogers.
all right, let the inspector speak first so I know what the case is about. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, and good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Inspector Emmons for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Enforcement, presenting for the case number and property as read. This property was first inspected on September 3rd, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 9-305B, the landscape of this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 47-34.1.A.1, there's illegal land use occurring at this property. There's a metal piece of ductwork, what appears to be bricks and plywood boards under and around the carport, which is a non-permitted land use in this RD 15 zoning area. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia and soffits, are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. The fascia has staining in areas where it may require repair. 9-278E, there are windows that are completely covered by storm shutters for both units in this duplex. And then finally, 9-308A, there are multiple broken and missing roof tiles. The roof is not in good repair and is not weather or watertight. A pre-hearing inspection was done on January 22nd by myself, and the following violations remain. No one from this property has contacted this inspector. The city is requesting 21 days to comply or fine at $50 per day per violation to be imposed. I would like to submit my case file and the photos to the court.
Okay, you're up, ladies.
Thank you. I have been emailing and calling. We actually live across the canal and face the back of the property,
Okay,
which is in worse repair than this. There's plywood on the back of the property. The roof, which you see is white in the pictures, is actually black on the back of the property. I've emailed photos in. There's another case pending where the dock is falling into the water. They did trim the grass, but there's coconut trees that are full of coconuts. There's coconuts on the ground. There's limbs on top of the roof in the back. I spoke with one of the inspectors and invited them over. They said they couldn't get into the backyard because there was a no trespassing sign. And I invited them to come to our side of the property, which is a gated community. And they said that they would. And then while I was emailing with him, I said, well, isn't that funny? All of a sudden, these people landed in the yard and they started cutting the front and the backyard as we were typing an email. And then I went back and it looked like the case was closed when I went online, and I said, well, how can that be? They never came back and inspected. So the hearing was originally supposed to be held in December. They moved it back to now January, but there's no photos of the back of the property at all. So I had emailed some in from, and there's been other complaints from our side of the water.
Yeah, I can only rule on what's in front of me, but it looks like that some of these violations would cover the back, would it not?
Because, yeah, there's huge.
Trespassing signs. They say they can't go back.
They said they can't go back there.
Okay, but if the roof is in disrepair, it needs to be replaced, it's gotta be replaced in the front and the back, so.
Right, and there's plywood covering the back side also. And it says that there's people living there. That duplex has been vacant for years.
Yeah.
The owner, from what I'm told, he's been in prison for years, has multiple times been arrested, not in jail, in prison. And he can't live on the property because he's a sexual offender of minors. And now, when I looked online, he's been deported. So I'm not, I wondered if anyone was going to show up to the hearing, and I wondered who the city's been in contact with for the cleaning up the violations. Who are they speaking with?
Well, have you had any contact with the property owner?
No.
The only thing I could do at this point is to enter an order to clean up the property within 21 days or start finding them, and that's the process, how the process begins. So that's my order for today, and we have to go from there.
Will they address the back of the property? Because it's devaluing our property.
Well, you could speak to the inspector about whether he can get back there and what he can do. If you're certain the property is vacant, maybe he can get back. Oh, yes, Mr. Quintero?
It's vacant.
Good morning, Your Honor. Wilson Quintero, Senior Inspector Quintero for the city. I'm familiar with this case. I cited before and I took it to Special Magistrate. I think it's a manager who's taking care of this property. I know about the owner, he's been in prison. So I'm gonna communicate with Mr. Emmons, and we're gonna see if we can try to get in contact with the manager so they can get a solution to all these problems. Okay?
Okay, but for now, the fines will start running if they don't clean up the property. So that often gets people's attention, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, ladies. Have a great
Appreciate
day.
it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Our next case is on page 48, Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 21020531. Case address 2221 Southwest 28th Way. Owner George Crisione. Case first heard 6/8/21 to comply by 7/6/21 and 12/7/21. 3 sections not complied at $100 per day. $46,100 accrued. The city is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 21020531 in reference to the property 2221 Southwest 28th Way. This case was first heard on June 8, 2021, and the magistrate found for the city. A reinspection was performed on January 21st, 2022, and found that the violations remain as per the photos depict. Due to the facts, the city is requesting the imposition of fines to the sum of $46,100, which continue to accrue until all violations have complied.
Okay. Sir, please state your name for the record.
George Crisione.
Okay. And why hasn't this property been complied yet, Mr. Crisione?
Well, Your Honor, I'm 100% not sure of what he's claiming is not in compliance. He asked me to finish the pool before the construction of the house would safely allow me to do it, and I did that. He asked me to clean up the front, and I did that.
It's obvious from the pictures, the problems with the property.
Well,
There's storage of materials, there's a fence that's in disrepair.
Your Honor, please make a note
Okay.
that this house is under permitted construction.
Like
I did-
permanent forever?
Permitted till it's finished, and I keep paying the renewal fees. I renew the permits, I get all my inspections, and it is a permitted construction site. I finished the outside of the house and the front of the house, and I made that perfect so that the neighbors wouldn't have a problem. I've cleaned around the corner, but there's still construction going on. He cited me because I had an excavator and a bobcat there, which is my legal right to do if I'm under a permitted repairs. He also cited me.
No, sir, you're not correct.
Then you're going to have to cite every construction site that I've ever been to, and that's about 1,000 of them. Okay? But I've moved them, so it's a moot point. And then under my permit and my permitted plans that were approved by the city, I've got 2,000 square foot of pavers that had to go down. I had the pavers delivered, and he cited me for that. I have to have pavers delivered in order for me to comply with my permit. So I moved them out of sight. It took me 3 months to get my paver guy out there, which he finally did start.
Okay, but the pavers are not in front of me right now. What's in front of me is the fence that's still in disrepair and either has to be taken down or
Well,
replaced.
that's what I asked specifically. What am I here for today, and
We're
why,
here for
on
storage
God's
permits.
name, did you
Sir,
get
please don't
$40,000 in
Please-
fines?
Please don't speak while I'm speaking. You are here for storage of materials on the property that consists of plastic containers, pallets of stone, commercial equipment, and other miscellaneous items,
The commercial equipment's been moved,
okay?
and everything else is construction materials that are stored on site because the construction is still going on.
Okay,
We cleaned up, I took 2 roll-off containers of debris since last I saw you out of the property and I removed all the equipment and retained only what I need to finish the construction, which I am more anxious to do than you. Now, the fence, okay, the front fence and part of the back fence, since I was last here, was run over by a guy that stole a truck and ran through my front fence and into my back fence. I have since replaced the replaced the whole front fence, and I've under contract since November for a guy to come and repair the back fence. I've got the contract that I signed with him in November. I've called him. He went away for Christmas. He promises me it'll be done before the end of January, but there's not a whole lot I can do more than sign a contract and ask the guy to fix it.
okay.
So it's not that we've been negligent, and it's not that we haven't done anything. The last time, I think August, when we had that big rainstorm, my roof started leaking. I had to pull the roof off completely at a cost of $67,000, which threw me in a little financial tailspin. I might add, the roof was only 7 years old and was inspected by Fort Lauderdale inspectors.
Okay.
And I'm finding that,
It's not in
excuse
front of
me,
me today.
I'm sorry?
The roof isn't in front of me today, but I
No,
appreciate
but-
the fact that you've come out of pocket a lot of money for
It's
it.
it's a financial hardship, and I still, on top of that, after the roof was done, they destroyed a bunch of the hardy plank, which I think I was cited for. I replaced all the hardy plank. I repainted the whole front of the house and the whole front of the porch. He cited me because I had dead spots on my lawn.
Okay, I can't go through what's not in front of me, okay?
The city is requesting the imposition of fines, Your Honor, and then once he comes into compliance, we can talk about the.
Okay, all right,
Well, the fence will be fixed by the end of this month, hopefully.
okay. I'm going to impose the fines for now, but once you bring the property into compliance, you can come back before me and tell me all of these things and how you complied the property and why it took you so long, et cetera, and I will try to work with you, okay?
Well, we didn't want to fix the fence, we wanted to replace the fence.
Okay.
But since COVID, the only fences that are available in PVC are white. My wife don't want a white fence, so I'm gonna have to fix the fence
Okay.
just to comply. So in November, when they told me I couldn't get the fence I wanted, I contracted the guy to fix it. And I don't think my time was up until December. So,
Okay, but this has been going on, these violations have existed since June.
well, you know what? I've replaced the fence 3 times at a cost of about $2,700, and I could show you photos if you want of your garbage truck on top of the fence. They can't make the turn. 3 times we've replaced that fence, and now that other idiot got drunk, stole a truck, and drove through the fence. So even if I had fixed it, it would be wrecked again.
Okay.
So now,
Well, and that's an important consideration. So all I'm saying to you is the fines are continuing to accrue. However, once you get the property into compliance, you can come back here and you can tell me these things and I will listen and I will consider reducing the fines at that point, okay? But we have to get the property into compliance first.
well, the property is pretty much in compliance.
Okay,
Assuming
well,
that we all understand.
I'm sure the inspector will go out and re-inspect and see if that's true, okay?
Okay,
All right, thank you,
so
sir.
the
fines are continuing to run, but once the property's into compliance, you'll come back, we'll talk about it, okay?
did I not have until December to fix that fence?
No, according to, you had an extension from July 6th to December 7th.
So from December 7th
Yeah, you've been out of
to
compliance.
today, I have
total for-
$40,000 in fines?
You've been out of compliance a total of 205 days between all of the time.
No, that's incorrect. Every time he has cited me, I fixed it. Everything he cited me for, I fixed within a timely manner, including citing me for not having house numbers when I was painting my house.
Okay, all right, yes, it looks like you had 2 different compliance dates. One was July 6th and one was December 7th.
Right, and I signed the contract for the new fence.
So that's why you have the fines that have accrued. But, Mr. Quashoni, just get the property into compliance, come back, and I'll be happy to try to work with you on these fines, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 50. It's Senior Inspector Manny Garcia, case number CE 19071860, case address 1651 Northwest 26th Avenue. Owner Stephen Williams, case first heard 3/5/2020 to comply by 4/2/2020. There are 3 suspensions notated on the agenda. 3 sections complied at $25 per day. $19,000 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount.
Your Honor, can I have the Your Honor, can I have the clerk read the fines that have accrued again? I'm sorry. 19,000 even? Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 1907-1860, reference to property 1651 Northwest 26th Avenue. This case was first heard on March 5th, 2020, and the magistrate found for the city. The case was then scheduled for a Massey hearing on January 12, 2021, and the magistrate granted a 28-day extension. A reinspection was performed by the previous officer Proto on February 8, 2021, and found that the violations remained. The case was then scheduled for another Massey hearing on June 24, 2021, and the magistrate granted another extension for 98 days. A reinspection was performed on October 3rd, 2021, and found that the violations remain on the property. Again, at the November 9th, 2021 hearing, the magistrate granted an extension for 7 days to comply. A reinspection was performed on November 17th, 2021, and found that the property remained in violation. A reinspection was performed on December 10th, 2021, and found that the property had complied with all violations cited as per the photos depict. At this time, the city is requesting the full imposition of fines to the sum of $19,000.
Okay, sir, please state your name.
Good morning, Stephen Williams.
Okay, Mr. Williams, why did it take you so long to get this property into compliance?
Okay, first, I didn't know that any of these processes and procedures were taking place. And when all of these processes were happening, I was unaware. When I was aware that this was happening, it had already occurred a whole lot of fines. So as soon as I found out that any of this was taking place, all of these different meetings where I didn't attend had already taken place. I was not aware. When I found out about it, I immediately, when I saw the correspondence, I called. They said I had these astronomical fines. I said, wait a minute, hold on. I didn't even know anything about it. I showed up at the meeting. When I did get it, everything was taken in compliance when I showed up for the initial meeting, except for the roof that needed to be repaired. When I got here, I showed that I had been in a fight with the insurance company to get the roof replaced. They didn't want to do it, and then we ran into the pandemic. After years, and seemed like years, they agreed to replace the roof. So when I came here, I showed, hey, I have the documentation. The insurance company is now going to replace the roof because it could not be repaired. At that point, I was given 90 days. But everything, when I came, the driveway, the painting, all of that was in compliance. When I came to the last meeting, the roof was repaired, everything was replaced. At that point, Mr. Garcia said, wait, there's still rust on the corner of the house that I was unaware of. That's when they gave me 7 days. I have people there doing renovations in the property. I called my painter from here. I said, go paint it. They've given me 7 days. He painted the corner of the house that I'd mentioned to him. When I went to the property, if you look, there was another flower bed in the front with the ferns that are hanging over. I guess he didn't see it. I said, listen, what about this? He said he didn't see that. He painted. I guess that's when Officer Garcia went back out. So it was not due to neglect or anything. I was just not aware that any of those proceedings were taking place. And then when I was, again, I came with the documentation that the insurance company
Showed up and asked for all these extensions.
I was not aware. At any of those meetings, I was not aware. I was not present. So when I did come to that initial meeting, when I did find out, that's when I showed the documentation. I said, hey, I have the information here from the insurance company where they have provided the funds to replace it. They said, hey, we're going to give you 90 days to get it repaired now that I do have the funds. That was the only extension that I was given until I came the last time where I thought everything was in compliance. And that's when Officer Garcia, because he had just received the case, he said, yes, the roof was repaired, everything was, he said, oh, but there's rust on this back corner that I was unaware of. And that's when they gave me the 7-day extension.
Your Honor, to respond to your question, this case was transferred over to me from one of the previous officers that was originally conducting the initial investigations on the case. I was present for the June 24th, 2021 hearing, of which this was the first time I was presenting this case on behalf of the city. And he was here that day. And also on the November 9th hearing, he was also present for this matter. I cannot speak on behalf of the March 5th hearing or the February 8th hearing.
And when we came to the last meeting, it was in November, Officer Garcia, I really thought everything was in compliance because I attended the one meeting when they gave me the extension to get the roof repaired because the insurance company finally provided the funds to replace the roof. So everything else when I came to that meeting had already been taken care of because that was the first time I'd heard of it. It was the driveway and paint the house. That was done within the week of me being aware that any of these proceedings had taken place. So when I came on November 7th, it was to say everything was, yes, ma'am.
Let me stop you because I can't retry everything that was at every hearing, but at some point, there was a finding that you got notice and that the property was not in compliance.
And I was unaware of any of that happening. I would not have neglected it. Once I came in, Officer Garcia would tell you, once I found out that any of this was taking place, the fines had already occurred. I would not have just ignored any of this. So as soon as I found out, I said, wait a minute, what is this? And they're like, oh, when I spoke to the young lady, when I called the number, she said, all these meetings have been taking place. I said, I was not aware of any. I'm a middle school principal. I would have been here. I was unaware of any of those meetings. She said, call and show up at the next meeting. That was the first meeting I came to. And at the time when I saw the correspondence, it said the painting, it said the driveway. That had all been taken care of when I
Okay,
came.
all right, sir. Are
Yes,
you
ma'am.
telling me the same things over
Sure.
and over again? Okay, anything else from the city? All right, I will reduce the fine to $3,800.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 26, Inspector Oaks. Case number CE 2107-1109. Case address 952 Northwest 24th Avenue. The property owner is SFR 2012-1, Florida LLC. Property was posted on 1/8/2022 and posted at City Hall 1/13/2022.
What page?
26.
26.
Good morning, Your Honor. Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case CE 2107-1109, property address 952 Northwest 24th Avenue. This property was initially inspected on July 29, 2021 by Inspector Terrace, and the following violations were observed. 18-12A complied. 9-304B, the driveway parking area is not maintained in a smooth, graded condition. There are oil stains and cracks in need of resurfacing and repair. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Friday, January 21st, 2022. And the following violations remain. 9-304B as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 35 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
Good morning. Good morning. Please state your name for the record.
Dilma Melendez.
Okay, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 35 days?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you so much for your cooperation.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Our next case is on page 28. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 2008-1210, case address 2960 Northwest 19th Street, owner SP Broward Gardens LP. Property posted 1/7/22, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 2008-1210 in reference to the property 2960 Northwest 19th Street. This case was initiated by previous Senior Officer Holloway on September 1st, 2020 in reference to the following violation. 47-19.5.D.5. There's a buffer wall in the property zone RMM 25 that needs repair. The subject wall at this property is in poor condition as it appears damaged and cracked. Upon reassignment of case, an inspection was performed on November 30th, 2021, of which the case was scheduled for today's hearing due to non-compliance. At this time, the city is requesting 49 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Sir, please state your name for the record.
Good morning. My name is Bruce Williams.
Mr. Williams, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 49 days?
I actually wanted to have you guys, actually ask the officer, which I did, how they came to find that that wall is ours. I have a property survey. That picture right there where you see the black fence, that's our fence that was built on our property, on the property line. The other side where that wall is at is not our property. So I'm not sure how we're being held responsible for a wall that was not built on our property.
Your Honor, this wall was built to divide to create a buffer between an RMM 25 property and an RS8 zone property. If you actually look at one of the photos, I think it's the next one that's about to pop up. You see that utility pole that's right there in the middle? That normally is used to divide. It's used as a marker or a kind of like a key to divide properties. Being that the pole, the wall is on the other side of the pole, it's pretty much a sign that the wall belong to the subject property as such. Nevertheless, the damages that are being caused to the wall are due to the trees that are growing in the property, therefore making it the responsibility of the property to fix the damages to the wall.
Okay, so in our experience, again, the title where the actual surveyor draws the lines for the property would be how the property is determined where their property lines are. A utility pole, like he's stating, I don't see where it's saying it's a utility pole and who was owned by, but I can purchase any type of light pole or fixture and get a permit and put it on my property as well. But the permit lines that are on this survey that I can give you, it's a smaller scaled down version, so you can't read it very well. I can pull it up on my iPad and let you look at it to zoom in if you'd like to, but you can clearly see that it's the fence line is where our property line ends. So I am not sure. That's what I'm trying to ask him, if there's any definitive proof that it's our property. If it was, or proven that that was the case, then we would be glad to do that. But we built this 2012 survey. We did a rehab on our community, and we built the fence on our property line. I researched your code. I researched the requirements. The only requirement for a setback of the fencing on the property line would be on the front side that's facing the 19th Street. You have to set it back 3 feet. On any other of the 3 sides of the property, you don't have to do a setback. So we built on the property line.
Okay.
Your Honor, after further review, the city is going to request a continuance for 28 days and to reappear on February 24th.
Okay. And I suggest you get together and give them a copy of the survey.
Yeah, I can gladly email it to you. I told him that earlier.
We're gonna,
And I just want to make just a note, Reggie White, Code Compliance Supervisor. I just want to get clarity from our planning and zoning department just to make sure that this is your wall or the neighbor's wall or the association's wall.
Right.
It's our position from looking at the facts that it's on your property and you will be responsible for it, but I just want to do a double check. And in 28 days, we'll bring the case back.
Okay.
Okay,
Just so you guys do know, I mean, the picture you're taking of the wall, that you're not even on our property right there when you're taking the picture of that wall. All the pictures we're taking are on the other side of the property.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of the fence, which I have those pictures too, if you would like me to send them to share them with you, is our property. These 2 pictures were taken. You have to drive into a cul-de-sac on the other homeowner side because we have our whole metal fence all the way through there, and those are where those pictures are taken. You can't even access our property from there.
Now, there's a portion of the wall on your property though, right?
No.
There's a portion. Is there a portion at all?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that black fence right there goes all the way to 19th Street.
I think after we were
okay,
reviewing the
why don't you show the survey to the inspector, and I'll move on to the next hearing. We're gonna have a 28-day extension on this case.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but get with him. Okay, next case.
Our next 2 cases are on pages 39 and 40. Inspector Boverexantis, case number CE 2104032, case address 1716 Northwest 15th Court, owner Beatrice Sibbles. This case was first heard on 7/29/21 to comply by 8/26/21. Suspended 10/28/21 to 12/9/21. 2 sections not complied at $50 per day. $14,700 is accrued. I am aware that the property owner is going to request an extension, even though it's not on the agenda as a request for an extension. We've spoken to her via email. On page 40, case number CE 2011038, case address 1716 Northwest 15th Court, owner Beatrice Sibbles. This case was first heard 8/26/21 to comply by 9/9/21. Suspended 10/28/21 to 12/9/21. 1 section not complied at $50 per day. $4,900 is accrued. For the record, Katrina Johnson Jordan, Administrative Supervisor for the City of Fort Lauderdale. I just wanted to add a piece to these 2 cases. At her last hearing, she stated she would apply for a lien settlement agreement, which she has. So we are definitely working with her. So as far as administratively, we're not opposed to an extension, but I'll also leave that up to the inspector as well.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Exantus on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale. Reading from page 39, property address 1716 Northwest 15 Court, case number 21040322. This case came twice before the special magistrate. First on July 29, 2021, where the magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and October 28, 2021, where the property owner was granted 42 days 42 days extension to correct all violation at this property. At this time, per Supervisor Katrina, so if property owner would like an extension, I would let him speak at this time. And the city will not oppose to an extension for this case right now.
Sir, please state your name for the record.
Justin Salmon.
Okay, how much time you need?
She requested 120 days.
Any objection?
No objection at this time right now to 120 days, but we'll request that the grass is cut on the property.
Okay. All right, I'll give you 119 days according to my calendar, but you need to cut that grass.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Your Honor, we moving on to page 40 on case number CE 2011-0388, property address 1716 Northwest 15 Court. This case came twice before the special magistrate in August 26, 2021, where the magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and October 28, 2021, where the property owner was granted 42 days extension to correct all violation. At this time, property owner is here to request an extension, which the city will not oppose to an extension.
State your name again for the record.
Justin Salmon.
Okay, and how much time do you need?
As much time as you can give.
119 days as well.
Okay, 119 days to be consistent. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This concludes our special magistrate portion of the hearing with respondents. We will now start with the non-respondents unless we'd like to take a brief recess.
Brief recess, please.
We'll now stand in brief recess. Our next case is on page 2, Captain Robert Kasarwich. Case number FC 2111010, case address 817 Northwest 57th Street. Owner Carter Property Enterprises, Inc. Personal service was given to this property on 1/6/22 and posted at City Hall on 1/13/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Captain Robert Kasarwich, Fort Lauderdale Fire Marshal's Office, here to present case number FC 2111001 for a property address of 817 Northwest 57th Street. Property is cited in reference to NFPA 1, 43.1.2.1, spray operations of flammable liquids, combustible liquids, and/or combustible powders are being performed inside the building, but not in approved spray booth, spray room, or spray area. Also, they were cited in reference to NFPA 1, 1.12.1, work has been done that requires a permit. In particular, that work was, they installed a spray booth without fire suppression on the premises a number of years ago. I have been in contact with the owner and the tenant. Our territory fire inspector had previously been working with the tenant in order to bring this property into compliance. And the tenant had contacted a company to go ahead and install the fire suppression system required. But that permit has gone pretty much stagnant for corrections that need to be made. In particular, they need to get the permit for installing the booth in the first place because it was installed without a permit. And second of all, they're going to need electrical and mechanical permits for the installation of that spray booth.
Okay.
Once I brought the owner on board, he's been very cooperative. He's been following up with his tenant.
Okay.
His lease agreement states that, of course, his tenant is going to be responsible for it.
Okay.
So we're willing to work with them now that we have cooperation from both the owner and the tenant.
Okay.
And we're going to request 28 days with a mandatory order to reappear so that they can provide us an update on where they've come in that last 28 days, or a fine of $100 a day per violation.
Okay, so ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case, case number CE 211-00245, case address 2300 Northwest 14th Court. Owner William A. Caldwell. Inspector Marco Aguilera. Property posted 12/15/21, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Good morning. Marco Aguilera, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Officer, presenting case CE 211-00245 for property located at 2300 Northwest 14 Court. Property was initially inspected by previous Officer Jordan on October 9th, 2021, and cited for the following violations. 9-305B. The landscape of this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. On December 15th, 2021, a notice of hearing was posted to the property due to noncompliance. As of January 22nd, 2022, the property remains in violation as per the photos depict. City is requesting 28 days to come into compliance. If not in compliance, the city requests to impose a fine of $25 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Our next case, case number CE 211-20259, case address 1131 Northwest 5th Street, owner buy rent sell now LLC. Property posted 12/28/21, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Senior Inspector Quintero, Senior number 269, on behalf of the city, I'm presenting case number CE 211-20259 for the address located at 1131 Northwest 5th Street. I first inspect this residential occupied rental property on 12/9/2021, following an action item complaint and the following minimum housing code violations were found and cited. 9-304B, the driveway is not maintained. There is dirt and oil stains on the paved surface. 47-34.4 capital B.1 is in compliance. 18-12A, there is trash, rubbish, and debris on the property, and or is swell. 18-4C is in compliance. 9-276C3, there are rats and other insects on this multifamily dwelling. The posting mailers or legal document has been done by department protocol. No contact was made with the property owner. BCPA reveals there's no changes in the ownership since 10/16/2014, and the property is not homestead. A pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, 1/25/2022 reveals that the violation remains as depicted in the pictures. The neighbors are still complaining of the rodents and vermin issues. The city is recommending 14 days for section 9-276, C3, and $250 thereafter, and 28 days for section 9-304, 04B, and 18-12A, and $100 a day per violation thereafter.
And the property is occupied, Inspector?
It's occupied, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, repeat that again, 14 days for 9-276C3,
And $250 a day.
okay, or how much there?
$250 a day.
250, and the other ones were 14 days or 50,
28 days or $100 a day.
or $100 a day. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So
I'm going to
ordered.
submit the paperwork for record.
Our next case is on page 4, Inspector Boverexantis, case number CE 21090605, case address 1206 Northwest 11th Court, owner Steve Aston McIntosh, property posted 1/8/22, posted at City Hall 113/22.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Inspector Exantus on behalf of the City of Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case number CE 2109-0605, property address 1206 Northwest 11th Court. This property was first inspected in September 23rd, 2021 by Inspector Paula de Grasso, and the following violations were discovered. 9-304B, which is in compliance. 9-304B is in compliance now. At this point, 9-306 is also in compliance. So this case is complied, Your Honor.
Okay.
The picture for that case were not of compliance for the exterior buildings is in the picture, but this morning I went by and takes photos for the gravel driveway, which is also in compliance, but I was not able to put it in the magistrate case's pictures right now. But the gravel driveway is in compliance.
Okay, thank you.
Our next case is on page 5, Inspector Brian Lopez, case number CE 21080948, case address 939 Northwest 16 Terrace, owner Diana Hanna, property posted 1/12/22, posted at City Hall 113/22.
Good morning. Brian Lopez, Co-Compliance Officer for the City of Lauderdale, presenting the aforementioned case and corresponding property. Senior Inspector Quintero inspected the property on September 1st, 2021, then again on September 7th, 2021, where he issued an inspection report for the following violations. Violation 9-304B, the gravel driveway at this property is not being maintained as required, as we're going through it. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 18-12A, there's overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris on this property and/or its swale. I met with the property owner and re-inspected on January 20th, 2022, and found the violations remain. The city is requesting 63 days to comply or a daily fine of $25.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 12. Inspector Boverexantis. Case number CE 211-00466. Case address 1455 West Sunrise Boulevard, owner Aziz Texaco Inc. And there's a stipulated agreement for violation 47-21.11.A, 63 days or $50 per day. 18-12.A, 63 days or $50 per day. 9-306, 63 days or $50 per day. 47-19.5.D.5, 63 days or $50 per day. 9-280H1, 63 days or $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you. Our next case on page 13, Inspector Boverexantis, case number CE 211-00388. Case address 1301 Northwest 11th Court. Owner 1817 Northwest 15th Street, LLC. Property posted 1/8/22, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Good morning. Good morning again, Your Honor. Inspector Exantus on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case number CE 2110-0388, property address 1301 Northwest 11th Court. This case was first inspected in October 14, 2021, and the following violations were observed. Violation 18-12A is complied. Violation 24-27B is complied. Violation 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead missing ground cover on the swell area. A notice of hearing was posted on property on January 8th, 2022, and a pre-hearing inspection was conducted on January 20th, 2022, revealed as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 21 days to correct the violation or a fine of $25 for each day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 14, Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne. Case number CE 210-60370, case address 3317 Northeast 15th Street, owner Tarn Tantiki. Property posted 12/1/21, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Good morning again. Senior Inspector Cologne for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case number CE 2106-0370, case address 3317 Northeast 15th Street. This property was first inspected by Inspector Snyder on June 15th, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 9-313A has been complied. 9305A has been complied. 9304B, there are vehicles, trailers parked on the grass lawn area, and the paved driveway is not being maintained. There is plant growth in the driveway, and this is a recurring violation under case number CE 1806-2188, and will be presented to the special magistrate whether or not compliance is met. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia and soffits, are in disrepair, and there are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing or peeling paint. This is also a recurring violation under case number CE 1806-2188, and will be presented to the special magistrate whether or not compliance is met. 184C has been complied, and 1812A has been withdrawn. I conducted a pre-hearing inspection on January 25th, 2022, and the violations remain as depicted on the pictures and presented for the record. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day for each violation thereafter.
So ordered.
Oh, and also for the finding of fact for the recurring violations.
So ordered.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next case on page 14, case number CE 21080873, case address 3500 Vista Park, owner Dana Fay. Property posted 12/1/21, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Senior Inspector Cologne for the City of Fort Lauderdale, case number CE 21080873, case address 3500 Vista Park. This property was first inspected by Inspector Flores on August 26, 2021, and the following violation was observed, 9306. However, I conducted a pre-hearing inspection on January 25th, 2022, and after reviewing the photos and reviewing the case, it was determined that 9306 is now in compliance, and this case can be closed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case on page 15, Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne. Case number CE 21050582, case address 3016 Bayshore Drive, owner Bayshore Hotel LLC. Property posted 1/13/22, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Senior Inspector Cologne, City of Fort Lauderdale, case number CE 21050582, case address 3016 Bayshore Drive. This property was first inspected on May 27th, 2021. The following violations were observed. 47-19.5.E.7 has been complied. 47-20.20H. There are parking facilities that are not being maintained at this property. There are areas that are uneven. There are potholes, and the striping is worn out and needs to be resurfaced. 9306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on January 25th, 2022, and it shows that the violations remain as depicted in the pictures and presented for the record. The city is requesting 35 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day per violation thereafter, and also the city is requesting an order to reappear.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Dorian, when? There's no hearing. So next one?
28 days.
Or in this case, just appear, because they haven't appeared this time, they can't reappear.
Yeah, good point.
You said the only days for reappearance would be 28 or 56?
Correct.
So
Well, on mine, the thing I have doesn't have things marked.
Okay, so do the 56
All right.
for the reappearance.
Well, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
56 days to reappear.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 17. Inspector Gustavo Caracas, case number CE 211-00293, case address 1100 Northwest 14th Street, owner Manny Family Investments LLC. Personal service was given to this property on 1/5/22 and posted at City Hall on 1/13/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case number CE 211-00293, property located at 1100 Northwest 14th Street. Inspection of the property was performed on October 11, 2021, and cited for the following violations. 9-305B, the landscaping at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover, including but not limited to swale right-of-way areas. 47-34.1.8.1 is complied. 9-308B is complied. 9-306 is complied. 18-12A is complied. Courtesy notice was mailed to the property owner as per BCPA first class mail on October 11, 2021, allowing 10 days to come into compliance. Contact has been made with the property owner and the tenants. Special magistrate request form sent on December 1st, 2021 and scheduled for today's special master. Pre-hearing inspection was done on January 24th. The pictures presented here were taken to confirm the violations still exist. The city is requesting the following: 28 days to come into compliance for a daily fine of $50 for the violation that still exists.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 18. Inspector Gustavo Caracas, case number CE 211-00294, case address 1112 Northwest 14th Street, owner Teresa Rogers. Property posted 1/5/22, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case number CE 211-00294 for the property located at 1112 Northwest 14th Street. Inspection of the property was performed on October 11 of 2021 and cited for the following violations. 47-34.1.8.1 complied. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia and soffits, are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stained and missing peeling paint. 18-12A is complied. Courtesy notice was mailed to the property owner listed on BCPA, first class mail on October 11, 2021, allowing for 10 days to come into compliance. Contact has not been made with the tenant nor with the property owner. Special magistrate request form sent on December 1st of 2021 for today's special master. Pre-hearing inspection was done on January 24th and the pictures presented here were taken to confirm the violations still exist. City is requesting the following: 28 days to come into compliance, or a daily fine of $50 for each of the violations that exist. Photos submitted into records for evidence.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 18, case number CE 211-00296, case address 1200 Northwest 14th Street. Owner May Pearl Williams. Property posted 1/5/22, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case number CE 211-00296 for the property located at 1200 Northwest 14th Street. Inspection of the property was performed on October 11, 2021, and cited for the following violations. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover, including but not limited to the swale right-of-way frontage of the home. 9-304B has complied. Courtesy notice has been mailed to the property owner as per BCPA on October 11, 2021, allowing 10 days to come into compliance. Contact has been made with the property owner via phone. Special Magistrate request form sent on December 1st, 2021, and scheduled for today's Special Master. Pre-hearing inspection was done on January 24th of this year. The pictures presented here were taken to confirm the violations still exist. The city is requesting the following: 28 days to come into compliance, or a daily fine of $25 for the violation that exists.
So ordered.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 20. Case number CE 211-00302, case address 1330 Northwest 13th Avenue. Owner Jean Joseph, property posted 1/5/22, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case number CE 211-00302 for the property located at 1330 Northwest 13th Avenue. Inspection of the property was performed on October 11 and cited for the following violations. 9-305A, there is growth of landscape material along with an accumulation of leaves encroaching upon the public right-of-way or the sidewalk. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead or missing ground cover, including but not limited to the swale and the right-of-way area. 9-280H1, the fence at this property is in disrepair and is not being maintained as required. 9-306, complied. 18-12A has complied, and 18-4C has complied. Courtesy notice was mailed to the property owner as per BCPA on October 11, 2021, allowing 10 days to come into compliance. Contact has been made with the property owner and with the property manager, along with the property tenants that live there. We have Supervisor Davila and myself have spoken to them in how to come into compliance. Special Magistrate request form sent on December 1st of 2021 for today's Special Master. Pre-hearing inspection was done on January 24th of this year, and pictures presented here are taken to confirm the violations still exist. The city is requesting the following: we're going to request 49 days to come into compliance, or a daily fine of $25 for each of the violations that exist.
So ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Our next case on page 20, case number CE 21071-1064, case address 636 Northeast First Avenue. Owner RRAC Flagler 626 LLC in care of Saul Ewing Arnstein and LEHR LLP. Property posted 1/5/22, posted at City Hall 1/13/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance Inspector, presenting case number CE 2107-1064 for the property located at 636 Northeast First Avenue. Inspection of the property was performed on July 28th of 2021 and cited for the following violation. 18-1, nuisance. There's graffiti at this vacant property that is creating a public nuisance. It is being maintained in such a manner that the property is or may reasonably adversely affect and impair the economic welfare of adjacent properties. Notice was mailed to the property owner listed on BCPA on July 28th, 2021, allowing 10 days to come into compliance. As of today, Your Honor, nobody has responded to the city. Special Magistrate request form sent on August 11, 2021, scheduled for today's Special Master. Pre-hearing inspection was done on January 24th of this year, and the pictures presented here were taken to confirm the violations still exist. The city is requesting the following: 7 days to come into compliance, or $100 for the violation that exists.
So ordered.
There are no 7 days. It's 10 days.
I'm sorry. Let's do the 10 days then. I'm sorry about it. Thank you.
Okay, 10 days, so ordered.
Thank you.
Our next case on page 22, Inspector Evan Oakes, case number CE 21071110, case address 954 Northwest 24th Avenue. Owner Mo Nicholas, property posted 1822, post at City Hall 11322.
Good morning, Your Honor. Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale, Community Enhancement, presenting case CE 210-71110, property address 954 Northwest 24th Avenue. This property was initially inspected on July 29, 2021 by Inspector Terrace, and the following violations were observed. 18-12A complied. 9-304B, the driveway parking area is not well maintained and well graded. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Friday, January 21st, 2021, and the following violations remain. 9-304B, as depicted in the photos, the city is requesting 49 days to comply, or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
So ordered.
Our next case, case number CE 211-00163, case address 1615 Northwest 8th Avenue, owner Alonz Jaffard, property posted 1522, posted at City Hall 11322.
Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case CE 211-00163, property address 1615 Northwest 8th Avenue. This property was initially inspected on October 6, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 24-7B complied. 18-12A, there is trash, rubbish, and debris on this property and/or swell. 9-280H1, the fence at this property is in disrepair and is not being maintained as required. The fence is leaning and is detached from the vertical post. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Friday, January 21st, 2022, and the following violations remain. 18-12A, 9-280H1 as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 14 days to comply, or a fine of $25 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 24. Inspector Evan Oakes, case number CE 211-00519, case address 700 Northwest 18th Street, numbers 1 and 2, owner Samuel W. Daniel, property posted 11622, posted at City Hall 11322.
Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case CE 211-00519, property address 700 Northwest 18th Street, 1-2. This property was initially inspected on October 16th, 2021 by Inspector Exantus, and the following violations were observed. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover on the swell area. 9-304B, the driveway is in disrepair. There are cracks and holes on the driveway. 18-12A, complied. 47-21.16.A, complied. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Friday, January 21st, 2022, and the following violations remain: 9-305B, 9-304B as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 35 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 25. Case number CE 211-00844. Case address 1341 Northwest 2nd Avenue. Owners Oriel and Merlande Emmanuel. Property posted 1722. Post at City Hall 11322.
Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case CE 211-00844. Property address 1341 Northwest 2nd Avenue. This property was initially inspected on October 27, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 9-313A, property is not identified by approved address numbers. The house numbers are faded and are missing. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 9-280H1 complied. 9-280F complied. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Friday, January 21st, 2022, and the following violations remain: 9-313A and 9-305B as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 35 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 30. Case number CE 211-00342 has been rescheduled. On page 30, there's a stipulated agreement for case number CE 211-00849, case address 2481 Southwest 7th Street, owner W. Thomas Souter Jr. Estate, for violation 9-308B, 63 days or $50 per day, and for 9-304B, 63 days or $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 31, Senior Inspector Manny Garcia, case number CE 211-00622, case address 417 Southwest 25th Terrace, owner Indus LLC, property posted 12/15/21, post at City Hall 11322.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 211-00622 in reference to the property 417 Southwest 25th Terrace. This property was first cited on October 24th, 2021 for the following violations: 18-4C, which has complied; 18-12A, that's complied; 9-304B, there are vehicles stored on the grass area of the property. In addition, the driveway on the property appears to be uneven and overgrown. There appears to be cracks and missing areas of the concrete driveway and requires maintenance. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being properly maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 9-280B, there are building parts which are deteriorated and not maintained. There's a broken window on the property that requires maintenance. A reinspection was performed on November 10, 2021. The case was referred to today's hearing. A pre-hearing inspection was performed on January 21st, 2022 and found that the subject violations remain as per the photos depict. Due to the facts, the city is requesting 35 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 32, Senior Inspector Manny Garcia, case number CE 211-20191, case address 1817 Northwest 25th Terrace, owner 1817 Northwest 25th Terrace LLC, personal service was given to this property on 1/7/2022 and posted at City Hall on 1/13/2022.
For the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 211-20191 in reference to the property 1817 Northwest 25th Terrace. This property was initially cited on December 8, 2021 for the following violations: 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 9-304B, there are vehicles parked on the grass lawn area of the property. In addition, the driveway approach on the property is in need of maintenance. The approach is uneven and full of dirt. Gravel is not maintained and it is encroaching into the sidewalk. 18-4C has complied. A pre-hearing inspection was performed on January 21st, 2022, and found that the subject violations remain on the property. Due to the facts, the city is requesting 42 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 33. Senior Inspector Wilson Quintero, case number CE 211-00819, case address 3351 Southwest 20th Street. Owner Dimitri Dupli. Certified mail was given to this property on 12/22/21 and posted at City Hall on 1/13/22.
Senior Inspector Quintero, Senior, number 269, on behalf of the city, I'm presenting case number CE 21100819 for the address located at 3351 Southwest 20th Street. Inspector Belva, number 308, first inspect this residential occupied property on 10/27/2021, following a neighbor complaint, and the following minimum housing code violations were found and cited. 9-306 is complied, 18-4C is complied, 9-305B. The landscaping at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover, including the swale area. 15-28, running a business from this residential property without first obtaining a zoning and business tax receipt from the city. 47-39, point capital 1.1.B.7.A, 1 is in compliance. The posting of mailing and legal documents has been done by the city protocol. Property residents are aware of the complaints of violations. There has been 10 complaints since 2018 for the same code violations. No contact was made with the owner, just with the manager last week. The BCPA reveals there's no change in the ownership since 4/30/2013, and the property is not homestead. A pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, I meet with the residents, and the violations remain as depicted in the pictures. The city is recommending 28 days to come into compliance, or $50 a day thereafter for violation, Your Honor.
So ordered.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Me too.
On page 35, there was a citation appeal where the respondent did not show. The city attorney's office, Rhonda, she stepped out, but she stated that provided they receive proper notice, the appeal should be denied, and then they can come back and explain why they did not show at their own appeal.
Okay, so I'm going to impose the fine.
Our next case is on page 36. Case number CE 211-10065, case address 1515 Northeast 12th Street, owner Nigel Christopher Liu. This property was cited on 11/5/21 to comply by 11/8/21. One section complied at $150 per day, $1,050 accrued. There was no appeal received for the citation. Paulette, do you want anything different than the fines to be imposed? Oh. So the city's requesting fines to be imposed is read.
So ordered.
Case number CE 200800189, case address 900 Northwest 17th Avenue, owner David Kadar, Shao Kadar, and in care of Benny Dairy. This case was first heard on 7/29/21 to comply by 8/12/21. One section not complied at $50 per day. $8,400 accrued. The city is requesting full amount of fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
Our next case, case number CE 201200988, case address 1536 Northwest 6th Street, owner 1551 Sis Trunk LLC. This case was first heard on 3/9/21 to comply by 5/11/21. Suspended 7/29/21 to 10/28/21. Two sections not complied at $100 per day, $33,800 accrued. The city is requesting full amount of fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
I'm sorry, you wanted to do something different, Brian? So the city is going to amend its request.
Yes, we're actually requesting 60-day extension.
In which case?
I'm sorry?
What case?
Okay, let me go ahead and, sorry.
The 33?
1536 Northwest 6th Street.
Okay, all right. 63-day extension?
Yes,
Okay, so ordered.
thank you.
Our next case is on page 41. Case number CE 210505554, case address 1 West Sunrise Boulevard. Owner WMA Investors LTD partner in care of Walgreens, CO Attention RE Properties Hacks. Case first heard 11/9/21 to comply by 11/19/21. One section not complied at $100 per day. $6,900 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 43. Case number CE 2108027, case address 1333 Northwest 5th Avenue. Owner Gilbert Dorian. This property was cited on 10/6/21 to comply by 10/7/21. One section complied at $250 per day. $250 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount and no appeal was received for this citation.
So ordered.
For case number CE 19082293, case address 120 Northwest 16th Street, owner WE Equity Fund LLC. The city is requesting to vacate the final order of October 12, 2021.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 44, case number CE 210710055, case address 924 Northwest 24th Avenue, owner Hector Santiago. This case was first heard on 10/28/21 to comply by 12/2/21. One section not complied at $25 per day. $1,400 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
Case number CE 2104086, case address 1500 Northwest 7th Avenue, numbers 1 and 2, owner Corbell Cooper. This case was first heard on 10/28/21 to comply by 12/2/21. Two sections not complied at $50 per day. $5,600 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
On page 46, case number CE 211205547 has been paid and closed. Case number CE 211-00400, case address 416 Southeast 19th Street, owners Jonathan Barger and Bruce Barger. This property was cited on 11/8/21 to comply by 11/23/21. One section complied at $200 per day, $5,800 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and no appeals received for this citation.
So ordered.
Case number CE 19070591, case address 1131 Northwest 16th Court, owner Harold Sparty Jr. This case was first heard on 9/9/2020 to comply by 9/19/2020 and 11/11/2020. There are two suspensions notated on the agenda. Two sections not complied at $25 per day, $15,750 accrued. Two sections complied at $25 per day, $1,725 accrued. A total of $17,475 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 49. Case number CE 210300319, case address 1751 Northwest 7 Terrace, owners Dwight Thompson, Stephanie Moncrief, and all others. This case was first heard 11/9/21 to comply by 12/7/21. Two sections not complied at $50 per day, $5,100 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue. Oh, sorry. She says so ordered. I'm sorry.
What?
We're finished with that one. I need to go back and read the other one.
Okay, all right. So ordered on that one.
Case number CE 211-20064, case address 2709 Northwest 19th Street, owner H.W. Johnson. This case was cited on 12/2/21 to comply by 12/2/21. One section complied at $250 per day. The city is requesting full amount and no appeals received for this citation.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 50, case number CE 21090101, case address 1620 Northwest 25th Terrace, owner Roger and Jocelyn Francois. This case was first heard on 11/9/21 to comply by 12/14/21. Two sections not complied at $25 per day, $2,200 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
Manny, on page 53, there is a case for a request for an extension. Is there anything we need to know, or we're just going to let the fines continue to accrue?
Good morning, Your Honor. This property submitted a request for an extension. They also have a different case open with the building department for building without permit, of which they haven't even bothered submitting a permit for any of the work that they were cited for. And being that they requested an extension today and they're not here, I think that we should just move forward and impose the fines.
Okay, the request for extension is denied and we'll impose the fines.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
The city would like to enter pages 56 and 57 into today's hearing as an exhibit. It is the city's list of complied, closed, withdrawn, and rescheduled cases.
So ordered.
This concludes the special magistrate hearing for January 27, 2022. The request for an extension, we did not notice them for imposition.
For what?
We did not notice them for that it will be imposed.
It should just be the extension is denied, and then the next hearing, we should set it for Massey.
Okay, what page is that?
Page 53.
All right.
We just denied the extension.
Yeah.
And then we take it back.
But we'll have to bring it back for Massey.
Okay. All right, so we'll deny the extension on that one. Okay.
Now we have concluded today's special magistrate hearing.